Hello, hello, it is me again. You sure were. Alright, let's see. That should be fine. We should be good to go. Game doll. I'm good, Crispy. I'm good. I just had a chat with... That is not right. Alright, that explains it. With someone on Discord and... realized that I think I can solve the issue pretty easily, maybe about like better error reporting. I don't know if I can solve the issue easily, but I want to do better error reporting. That's what I want. All right, so we had DuckTales Remastered. Let's see what's next. Ooh, this is not F-Zero, but that's the only thing I can think of. Or some kind of Lego thing. Could it be a Lego thing? Is there a Lego racing game? No. It's not F-Zero either. Oh, I don't know. I only played the first one. I don't know what this is. Correct franchise. It is F-Zero. Wait. What? Okay. Could it be like GP Legends then? No. X. I'm just guessing now. We tried GP Legends X and GX then. Okay, there you go. What? Yeah, but why did it say correct franchise? Apps. Okay, well, we did it. Camera's a little bit weird, isn't it? Alright, anyway, we're just gonna deal with it. Let's jump in and let's have a look at what is the current problem that we are facing when we are using Anathema, right? We are facing issues when we want to do something and there is some kind of error, right? Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say I was pretty drunk. Should we do I can announce the stream. I didn't do that earlier, which might explain a thing or two. No, it wouldn't. Evening stream where I try to improve errors in Anathema. Snap. There we go. Hello, Skylar. How are you doing? Yeah, so now obviously I have to make an error happen. So what can we do to fail in live? I guess we can quit a well-paying consulting job and become streamers. No, wait. Let's do something else that doesn't hurt as much. We need an error. Okay, thread main panicked. Oh, oh yeah, no, I know what that is. In the guide? Okay. Okay. Good evening, Evil Eyes. How are you doing? Oh, this one can have a hyphen in it, but the component name should not. That's good. That's good. So we can review some changes. Can I just review a change here? But I don't want to I want to. Oh God, I used to do this for a living. Where is the suggest edit button? Nice, Crispy. Nice. Enjoy it. Add a suggestion. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. All right. So you don't have to do anything. It's fine to have hyphen in file names. Now, I know that you are looking at this while I'm doing this, but for anyone else who comes along. So all you have to do is hit that button and I can approve this pull request. This is very good. Thank you. Looks good. Just one place where we don't need underscore, and that's the file name. Okay, looking good. So if you just do that, then I can merge it. Hello, Prevan. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, son. How you doing? How was school today? Did you get into trouble with those bean boys again? Did you?
I told you, you gotta pay them off. Okay, so we're trying to make an error occur that isn't a panic. We want to make an unwrap occur. Nice one. How are you doing, Smethy? Completed my challenge. Did you? Did you learn Rust? You did learn Rust. Okay, wonderful. Should we put that to the test, Smethy? Do you feel like what do you think was the hardest part of learning Rust? I'm not gonna give you a test, right? There's nothing in it for me to try to school you, right? Let's just talk, man. It's all good. Ah, shit. I forgot I left the computer on the floor. All right. Well, we'll get around it. So, yeah. The syntax is a mix of other languages. All syntax is a mix of other languages. Like, basic is a mix of English, right? Deploying. So, what's your new business venture, Limenox? I never asked. We need to make this fail somehow. I don't know how to make it fail. Wait, I do know how to make it fail. We are going to panic somewhere. And now I know what we're gonna do. I know.
Hello, super cool dude. How you doing?
It's a dark web search engine and data mining operation, kind of like I've been known. All right. I've been pawned, man. Imagine if that was a thing. You wake up, you're like, where am I? Why am I in this glass case? Why is there a price tag on my nipples? Sorry, you've been pawned. You won a contract to collect data from the EU. All right, nice. Yeah, it's all good, mate. It's all good. The syntax looks like a mix of Python, C++, and Node.js. So it looks more like OCaml and Ruby, maybe, I think. But yeah, a lot of languages is the inspiration for it, right? Move semantics, nice. Yeah. All right, but what was the hardest part, though, Smethy? Like, the syntax isn't the hardest part of a programming language. The syntax is like getting to know the people in the office where you're going to work. It's not the challenge, right? I did Kotlin on stream. Yeah, it's hard to see. In none of the programming languages I've used throughout my life has had error handling close to as good as Rust. Okay, let's see. Where are we at then? Pop shallots. Oh man, hang on. I think I bungle this. Hello, YouTube viewer. The hardest part of programming is the compiler, specifically the type checking. Really? Maybe making a programming language, but not learning one. The installation in the building also, there is many files that it makes them. See, Smathy, you can't argue that the installation process is the hardest part of a language. That makes me think that you didn't actually learn the language, okay? In 4 hours, okay? It makes it hard to believe that, okay? Like the way Zig does error handling. So I know Christoph is going to come after me for saying this, but I really don't like that you cannot attach auxiliary information to the errors in Zig. Instead, you have to just pass a pointer or whatever. And that to me felt a little bit, I don't know. But maybe I'm just scared of pointers. After all, a pointer stole my wallet when I was 16. C is hard to install. What? C is like Pacman-S GCC, right? You're done. Now, to each their own, man. To each their own. Because pre-install your system, yeah? Yeah, pretty much that, right? Nah, it's all good, Smithy. It's all good. I started to use Rust a bit like Python, but anything more complex, like implementing my custom iterator for a type or mine, or try to use threads or lifetimes, just struggleroni. Good use of struggleroni, all right? It's a common word used. It's an Italian heritage. Wiry, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Like, I end up doing comp time most of the time and make it hard on myself when I have to reread. Fair enough. See, it's hard to uninstall. I reckon we can install assembly in a couple of seconds here, right? And we should probably see what assemblers do we have. Acme. Bam, done. Okay. Now we have an assembler. Okay. I think you mean John Jang said, not John Gaines. Distant relative to Ed. You most likely already had ass. Maybe. Maybe. I learned how to work on a macro and implement it in NeoVim yesterday. Good work. That's when you know how to install NAS, but when you don't. Yeah, I've written some assembly back in the day for Pick Micro for fun, but I haven't written any assembly recently. Last time I wrote assembly, it was embedded assembly in Rust just to see if I could do it right. Did you change this, Skylar? Skylar, did you see my request? You did. Do you just want to hit the button? Wait, you've done it already. Why did it not? All right, I'm just blind. It's all good. I'll approve. I'm just being a big dummy. All right. Require approval from specific reviews before merging. No. I'm waiting for tests to run. There are no tests for this thing, right? Done. Merge. Okay, but but tell me what the hardest part of Rust was. Don't tell me it's the installation process, because then I believe you understand Rust just as well as my wife does, okay? And she thinks the screen is the computer. No, she doesn't. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were home. Fine, I'll make the sofa. Oh, all right. Anyway, let's do a little bit of this then, shall we? So we're gonna make this fail, and the problem with this thing failing is that we don't really get to know about it, right? So we're gonna roll this back to when we had some failing code, which is now. And if I run this, I just get a whole lot of nothing. What? What do you mean? You're not supposed to work. Oh yeah, hang on. We need to add this back in as well. Now it fails, and we don't know what happened. You're still not there. You're over there now. Okay, so this isn't helpful. So instead, what we're going to do is in our runtime builder, we're gonna initialize the backend as the last thing we do. See, we pass in the backend into the runtime builder. And we do all this jazz. And there's gonna be like a finish function here, where we compile the document. Now this is it, right? No, this is the bloody document. Fiddlesticks. It was the backend. I confused myself. So the backend never changes. See, Smathy, I kind of believe that you know Rust about as well as I know how to talk to strangers, right? When you say that cargo is the complication, right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe you're like a language savant. What do I know? But like, yet cargo is the confusing part. Always. I'm not gonna put you on the spot though, Smathy, but I 100% do not believe that you actually know any Rust after 4 hours of reading Rust. Okay. Okay, let's see. What are we gonna do here, right? What are we gonna do? We're going to we have to make the backend happen later, right? So we don't have the backend happen this early on. See, this is the problem. This part here is what is actually the problem. No. Here it is. Here it is. No, it isn't. Dang it. That is not it. I think there's a Kotlin plugin for it already, although I cleaned out my NeoVim recently. Yeah, I don't have Kotlin in there. I Gleam now. Alright, so the thing is, Smathy, I don't know how you define learning a language, okay? I wasn't gonna put you on the spot, but you're making these outlandish claims. Can we see some of your Rust code then? Can we see some Rust code you've written, Smathy? So we know, okay? Right. Did you set up Kotlin SP in NeoVim when you tried it? Probably not. No, probably not. You can use paste.modprog.de, right? Yeah, if you guys want to show me your code, go for it. When you call, yeah, this is what I'm trying to solve, right? Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense to do it on finish because we have to compile the document. Skylar. We have to compile the document, then we have to call finish on the back end. That's the problem. We cannot just do it here. We have to do it. If we go to this function here, after this function is where we have to do it. But I'm not interested in what you've done in the past, right? I wanna see what it looks like for someone who I want to see what it looks like for someone who has learned Rust in a couple of hours and say that they know Rust, right? See, this one isn't you. This is a bunch of other people, and the rest is like JavaScript. So it's really hard to say. There isn't like a lot of languages here, even though you said you know a lot of languages. This doesn't mean anything, right? This is not something I can look at and go, all right, yeah, clearly. You said that other people worked on this, didn't you? Didn't we look at this thing and you said you weren't the only one working on this? Hello, Chris. How you going? No, push some... I'm not a C guy, all right? And I'm not going to pretend to be a C guy. Push some Rust code and let's see some Rust code, right? I want to see what it looks like when you've learned Rust in 4 hours. I want to see you wield that higher rank trait bounds and... you know, understanding the borrow checker and all these things, right? I bet you are, Christopher. But like the thing is, I mean, you might have been doing C since you were a baby, right? What do I know, right? But if you say that you've learned Rust and you've learned Rust since like last time I streamed, which was like 4 hours ago, there isn't a chance in hell that you've actually learned Rust. I think either you have understood some syntax of Rust, right? Maybe you've understood some syntax of Rust, but that is not the same as knowing the language, right? Generally, before we think that anyone knows a language, they will have spent years with the language, not 4 hours, okay? There's no way that you would survive an interview test with me in Rust. And the interview tests I've done are very basic, right? Just to see if people understand the general parts of the language, right? I don't think anyone is going to turn up after 4 hours and be like, yeah, I can pass your interview test. But it's okay. It's okay. The thing is, you're obviously allowed to say that you know Rust, but I just get the feeling that it's gonna be hard to be taken seriously when you say I know Rust and you didn't know Rust 4 hours ago, right? I don't think anyone's gonna take you seriously, even if you are a language savant, right? One of a kind. What Rust interview question you ask? It depends a lot on the interview, but for instance, we can talk about smart pointers, right? Can you mention a couple of smart pointers to me in Rust, right? And then if you say, I don't know smart pointers, I don't know what smart pointers is, that's a perfectly valid thing to say. Then I say, okay, let's say you have a value on the stack and you want to move to the heap. How would you go about that, right? How would you do that? String. I've put you in a string, right? But then how can you say that you know? What is your definition of knowing? That's correct, Patorin. What's your definition of knowing a language, Smethy, right? That's what I'm saying, right? What's your definition? If you know some syntax, that's fine, but knowing a language means that you're productive in that language, okay? Because otherwise, I speak Spanish, German, Italian, Finnish, Portuguese, English, Prevance language, Swedish, Norwegian, Flemish. Okay, maybe nothing in Flemish, right? But then I'd be like, I got like 8 languages, right? Oh yeah, Tati, right? So I speak a little bit of Hindi as well, right? Sweden mentioned lowercase s. You're bad, right? who uses smart pointers. Anyone and everyone uses smart pointers. I speak your mom. My mom tried to call me, but I wasn't in a place where I had the energy to talk to my mom. Can you comment on this description of Rust by Prime? No, I'm not going to react to Prime's video on my stream, but I will watch the video later. Let me pull that up. All right, let me pull it up. Tractor. Damn it. So is other people calling C programmers tractor pilots now? We're going to make this a thing. Isn't Boxer smart? That is correct. It is. Comment on Discord. Nah. But again, like I said, I don't know C. So I'm not gonna say anything about it, right? Okay. We could just read the article in the stream. Nah, because then I'll be doing sorry, Privan, I am not convinced. You sheep. I wasn't sure, but you got me. You got me. Are you genuinely boycotting it? Why, Liminox? Why are you boycotting Prime? I'm still waiting for him to say hi. I can use Arduino, but I'm not going to say I can program C. Well, Arduino technically would be close to C++, but yes. When I did my job interview, they asked about some traits, asked how I would implement some things, asked about some memory layout things, and a few simple screening problems to fix borrowing rules and stuff. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, this is the thing though, Wiry, right? In general, when you interview someone, you are talking to them to find out if they actually know what they're talking about and if they would be a good fit with the team. You might be really smart and really qualified to work on a project on your own, but you would be a terrible fit for a particular team, right? Nah, that's fine, Liminox. That's fine. Sorry, I didn't. If. Oh my god. Okay, I need to get into streamer mode again. Hang on. The thing is, I didn't mean to like out you on anything, Liminox. You are like, I was just surprised, right? I was just surprised. And you obviously don't have to answer my question, right? I was just shocked because I thought most people were like Prime and that he was all right, but I understand that you're all entitled to your opinions, right? No, you didn't, Smathy, okay? You didn't make a programming language, okay? You might have written Alexa and a parser and an interpreter, but that, oh wait, that is a programming language. Well done, you. Okay, I'm gonna leave you to it, Smathy. All right, I still stand by it. I don't think you would survive 5 minutes in a Rust interview with me, but I believe you might have made a programming language, right? The parser is like the most fun part. What did you do then? So you lex the tokens. And what does the interpreter do? What happens between the lex and the interpreter? What happens in between them? What happens? Politics? Like actual politics or not? No, sorry, Lyman. You don't do it, man. I totally didn't mean to get you there. I don't want you to answer any questions that's going to make someone start going, no, he didn't do that or whatever, right? You're entitled to your own things, right? It's all in good luck, Smathy, right? It's all in good luck. Listen, honestly, it doesn't matter to me if you know or don't know a programming language. We're all just hanging out chatting, right? It's all good. Usually capitalism versus communism things, but his chat goes wild and he bites the bait. He takes the bait. Nah, see, I learned my lesson there, man. I was like, politics, there's the door. There's an actual door over there, but you can't go there. Not doing that. Not doing that. Man, I am struggling with this video again. I was just standing in the kitchen making some really gross food, and I just said to the wife, how do I know if it's funny, right? And she goes like, can't you show it to someone? I said, show what? If I make the video, then I've made it. Then it's too late, right? Then it is or isn't funny. But how do I know if the jokes are funny? It's like, can't you tell someone the joke? But you can't tell someone the joke on its own. Then it doesn't work, right? And I can't just throw a punchline at someone. How's it going? It was a chicken, right? It doesn't make sense. Phil, thank you so much. Phil, sorry, thank you. How you doing, Phil? Thank you so much. Echo type inference is largely unsupported. There you go, right? Yeah, no, I'm not ever gonna fall for that, okay? I'm not gonna get sucked into that. That is just not in the cards for me, right? Show the raw footage. It's the thing is, Scott, I spent 12 hours working on this video. I watched it. I will probably do a pre-screening to people on Discord, right? 12 hours. I was so exhausted. I woke up, I looked at him and like, this isn't funny. And the color grading is terrible. This color grading is awful. This looks so bad. And then it was just wipe it all and start again. Switch teams at work. Nice. It's great. It's a greenfield project. Yeah. Much less stressful. Nice. And I bet you get to use else statements there. Golden. I started reading about type inference systems like successor types, dependent types, and after reading 180 pages of mathematical papers, I realized I'm too dumb to. Nah, why? They just didn't write the book for you, okay? They're just elitist people, okay? Don't worry about it. We'll beat them up and take the lunch money afterwards, right? It's fine. Okay, so how can we do this thing, right? We want better errors for anathema, which means we want the errors to happen when we start the runtime. Can I? This camera is doing my head in. I'm sort of in the corner of it, right? The music wasn't coming out of the headphones. It was coming out of the speakers. You open back. Oh my god. Until you're done with it, yeah. Well, the thing is, Scott, I was like practically in there. I was like 3 minutes in of edited footage, right? And I looked at it and it's like, no, this isn't good. It's the year of the Linux desktop, too right. Just one round of Phantom Forces on Roblox. I don't know what that means, Dawson, but good luck. I don't know. My kid plays Roblox. I don't understand it. She's playing some kind of, I don't know what. But it's a weird thing, man. Every now and then I have to check through her like friend list. Do you know these people? Do you know these people? And she's like, yeah, that's my classmate. That's my classmate. That's my classmate. If anyone's not your classmate, gone. Yeah, it happens, man. I don't know. You said thanks, appreciate it, right? But that wasn't to me. That was also not to me. Which message did I skip? I'm at the hello world level of Rust, not really high. Okay, but then we can't qualify that as knowing Rust. Like, I'm not gonna hire you as a Rust developer if you knowing Rust is knowing hello world. That is literally the program that is written by itself when you call cargo new, right? I understand the syntax, how it works. By example, you tell me make me a Rust program that reads a file and adds a space to every line. I wouldn't know how to do it. No, I guess you could figure it out. The question is, Matthew, the question is, how long would it take you to figure this out? As a matter of fact, as a fun exercise, and this could be between you and I, right? You don't have to share this with the rest of the chat, right? You can share it with me in secret, right? How long would it take you to write a program that does just this, right? And I'm happy to look at your code. And we don't have to share with it. I know everyone else in chat's like, oh, I'm not going to get to see it. Oh, I'm not going to get to see it, right? Let's do this, okay? It would not take not even 5 minutes. Okay, in that case, Smathy, do it. 5 minutes. I'm starting a timer right now. Here we go. Where's 5? Does anyone know what a 5 looks like? 5 minutes. Tick, tick, tick. Let's do it. All right. Okay. And I better see some good use of iterator adapters there, right? None of that. No C-style Rust, okay? Then you're out of the Rust community. I will literally call the Rust Foundation myself and tell them what you did. No ChatGPT. Oh man, no. If you use ChatGPT, you're not a programmer, okay? you're a prompt jockey, right? You're not fit to even look at a tractor. Okay, let's just be clear on that. Okay. So what can we do with this? With the finalization function, maybe what we could do is have a finalize or an init function or something on the back end, and that's where we can do all these things, right? So let's hop back into our TUI backend, and we're gonna store some settings on here. So which ones should we do? We're gonna have settings here, right? So what are we gonna put in there? We'll do hide cursor as a bool. What else do we want? We want enable raw mode. There we go. And then what else are we gonna do? Enable alt screen and mouse. There we go. Okay, so in that case, when we do this, we're gonna do self.hide cursor is equal to true. Then, and we are. I guess we can return self. We're not going to call that though, right? It's true as well. Yeah, put it on your GitHub. Put it on your GitHub. Da 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 da. Ba ba ba. And let's do self.enable mouse is equal to true. And we're going to get rid of that one too. You know what the most useless language is out there? All right, self.enable alt screen is equal to true. Tyru, true. There we go, right? Let's not make up any words. Okay, so we are now deferring this thing until we get to like a finalize function. So should we maybe have a finalize? But do we need the size before we can do anything? This might not be okay. Unless we do this later. You named it in Pascal case. There's already a red flag there, son. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. Let's have a look. Input. Test and test 2. Some good inputs. Main. Why are you using a buff reader? Why are you using a buff reader here, Smathy? That's not, I told you to use iterator adapters. This isn't using, this is a for loop. Okay, this is a for loop. All right, if I ask you, Smathy, why have you used buff reader and why did you import buff read? Can you answer that question without reaching for ChatGPT? Oh, Temporis, I went down the rabbit hole of gaming on Linux, and now I'm here. Okay, now I'm here. No, it all started. Yeah, I mean, this is not this. I don't think, Smathy, like, I'm sorry, but I don't believe you for a second. I don't think you know which one of these is a trait and which one of these is a struct. I don't know. I don't think you know what a trait is, right? 5 minutes. I write big calls. Yeah, this is a really big callback. I'm sorry, Smathy, but I just can't take you seriously, okay? But that's okay. We don't have to take people seriously, all right? You don't have to prove anything to us. We're just internet strangers, Smathy. Don't worry about it, all right? You know what, Smathy? Just go on. I don't care what that nerd thinks about me. All right? I don't know you. I don't have anything invested in this thing. We're just a bunch of babies talking at the playground. Don't worry about it. It's all good. I mean, I don't think you know Rust to save your ass, but, you know, I'm just saying. No, this is a program, and Smathy don't know what any of these things do, right? But how can you write it? But we did say no GPT, Smathy. We did say no BS AI, okay? You didn't write this. You like, chat GPT, do this for me. All right, I'm gonna call myself program. But you know what, Smathy? This is very important. Okay, serious time, Smathy. Okay, it's okay. You don't have to know Rust. Okay. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of people in the chat who don't know Rust. I don't even know Rust. I'm just really good at faking it. Okay, just like my wife. But here's the thing, right? You should not tell yourself that you know things that you don't know, because you're gonna be a good programmer. You're gonna be a great programmer, right? That's your goal, to be a good programmer, right? Not to pretend to be a good programmer. So the important thing is that you're honest with yourself and you keep learning. Doesn't matter what you tell other people, right? If you want to be the next Aaron Swartz or whatever his name was, or Linus, not Tech Tips, but Torvalds, right? Then you can go for it, right? But don't lie to yourself. That's important. Oh man, she's listen. When it comes to catching, do we still have that flipping emote? Okay, Christmas time, man. So yeah. Anyway. I like that you're on it. You know what, Smathy? I'm gonna make you VIP of this stream now, just because you're a character. You're a character, and you don't buck down, right? You don't back down even. We're like, you don't know Rust and you don't care. You even admit to using a search for it, right? You don't care. That's good, man. You can be VIP tonight. Okay, so we got this code out of the way now. We need to put this into the Finnish function, which has nothing to do with the country of Finland, right? So we're gonna have to put a bunch of statements here, right? If self dot hide cursor. I'll learn how to type. The more tired I get, the better I type. Then we're gonna call this function here. And you know what? As an added bonus, we can even do this. Right, we can even do this, and I cannot lie. Yes, again, enable alt screen is not available on self. Is that it? No, attempted to take value. What are you talking about? All right. Now these are supposed to be. This is supposed to be. Oh no, this is the builder. Oh man, you pillock. All right. So we might have to add some more bools here. Okay, we add some more bools here. We're gonna copy these ones. Up to the builder, up to the builder. Where is the builder? There is the builder. Right. Nothing whatsoever, Smathy. It's just a status symbol. You're the only one. Oh yeah, you can spam. It doesn't look pretty. You can spam, but if you do, I'll take it away. Okay? Then you can't. Then you have to go and eat your vegetables. You can't have it. Now we're gonna take all that stuff and put it up here first. All right. So let's go to the back end and get all these things too. And we're gonna change this to self.hide cursor. Actually, we're gonna change everything to self.hide cursor. But then we're going to change this to enable roll mode. And we're going to change you to enable alt screech. And change you to enable mouse. You know what surprised me so much with Anathema? The amount of people who are interested in using the mouse and the terminal. To me, that's like, what? But there are so many people who want to use it, right? Smathy, you are a kid, okay, compared to me. And I've been doing that wank for decades, okay? So I'm gonna be like an old man and be like, son, I'm sure you can, right? Rust is so hard that even POG streamers get salty if you send PRs. What did you do, Liminox? Hey, I merged 2 PRs today, right? I got unsolicited code advice and I don't mind. I use Tmux and I don't know how to turn on mouse. Well, yeah, no, don't do it, man. It's fine. You don't need it. You don't need it. All right, so we're gonna set all these up now. All right, we're gonna have all of this available bubbles here, but we're gonna, whoops, that is not what I want to do. We're gonna change bool to false, like so, and we should be good. All right, you need to be muted, bubbles. Wait, do we not have an output? We do. Oh, right, you have to be mutable. I should start asking this Matthew for help. HTML, CSS is still same, but it's not even programming. It's just a bit of math sometimes. Yeah, I mean, it's a markup language. No one's ever accused HTML of being a programming language, except HTML is Turing complete. Get out of here, man. Nobody cares. All right. You have to play a Warframe. Nice, man. Let's see. I need a girlfriend. Okay, don't tell the wife. No, I need to figure out how to play Warframe because the lag was bad, right? Yeah, Vim is nice, Matthew. Vim is nice. I like big Vim and I cannot lie. All right, so hide cursor. What's the next one? We have it all down here. Hide cursor. Then we're gonna have enable raw mode, right? And we're gonna do something with that. And then what else do we have? Alt screen. Alt scream. And you know who I haven't seen for a while? Have you guys seen like Thunderbeard for a while? I haven't seen him. You need to figure out what's up with your setup. Yeah. No, good grief, man. That would streaming would die, right? Is it correct that templates have loops? That is correct, Dottie. That is correct. Shit, what was I talking about? Thunderbeard, not Thunderbird. Oh man, why can't I remember his name now? He used to do Rust, then he diverted into Go. Oh man, where is Demon Souls when we need him? Demon Souls, Hot Wings. I don't remember. Dude with the snakes, right? Damn, why is the name escape? Anyway, I haven't seen him in a while, right? Have you guys seen it? Do you know who I'm talking about? No? Okay. Soulburn. That's who I was thinking about. Soulburn. Have you guys seen Soulburn in forever? Did you guys used to watch Soulburn? What the thing looking like a coin is, I think you can reasonably assume that you can use the actual words with us, Matthew. We're good. I've been building computers since I was a teenager. All right. I was building computers when computers had things like controller boards to be able to add mouse to the computer, right? The coil thing, I'm gonna assume you mean like you mean the CPU cooler, right? And or maybe you have like a magnetic motor in there, right? Well, there'll be coils inside the CPU fans though, right? Okay, so hide cursor, enable raw mode, then all right, here's alt screen, right? Everyone loves alt screen. It's like the alternative screen where all the cool kids get their screen from. And mouse support. The Volt thing. You can't say that the PSU, right, the power supply unit, but you can't say that you know what things are and then call them the Volt thing, right? So, man, this is Matthew. I love it. Don't stop, okay? And I'm sorry. I don't get offended if I'm taking the piss, right? Because I think that we both are at this point, okay? This is just quality entertainment, right? Say it, don't spray it. All right, okay. Let's get rid of this stuff. And I'm vibing to the music. What music? I don't even have my headphones on anymore. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, we got music. All right, it's getting to be DuckTales Moon Theme o'clock soon, right? It's an inductor. No one talks about building a computer and we're like, hey, Kenneth, can you pass me the inductor? Kenneth be like, what the f are you talking about? Yeah, can you pass the inductor, please? Say, sorry, which component is the inductor? It's all good. Okay, so we now moved everything into this finish function where we're going to do everything. The problem still remains. But we can now migrate this thing to some kind of initialize function. I have built so many computers in my life, and I have never worn one of those anti-static straps. I have also destroyed one CPU only, and that was from a bent pin, and in my defense, it was like that when I got here, okay? Windows XP, get Linux on this, Matthew. What a missed opportunity. Oh, man, I'm not going to read a book while I'm streaming, man. Okay, so we now need to move this function. How hard do you think async Rust is to learn with no previous async program experience? So the things that is important to understand when we're talking about async Rust is that async Rust compiles to a state machine, and that is not really relevant to know, but what you need to know is about traits and generics before you get into async Rust. Are you comfortable with traits and generics, Cobra? Man, like, you it's so hard to understand this. You're like, on one hand, you're like, I'm this amazing genius person. I learned Rust in 4 hours. I built my own computers using the inductor, right? But you don't know how to uninstall Windows XP, right? Come on, man. Our Beowulf cluster, right? Just learning those now, covering traits eventually. Yeah. So once you got that code, bro, it's good to know about impl trait in argument and return position as well, because that comes up, and to know what a future actually is syntactic sugar for. And once you got that, the superficial stuff of async isn't that complicated, right? You can do a lot. It's when you have to start writing your own futures and you get stuck with things like pinning, that's when it gets complicated. But that's not the majority of async Rust. So you're going to be fine as long as you know traits and generics and you're comfortable using them. You're going to be okay writing async Rust, I think. But know this, Cobra. It is harder than other languages, which doesn't make sense because you just said without any previous. I think this will help you. Not having any prior knowledge about it is probably going to help you, Cobra, because I don't think you're going to get caught up in your own nonsense saying it should work like this, which a lot of programmers do, right? You forgot to say, by the way. Okay, so if we can move this function into the implementation here. So we're not going to do this here, right? Instead, we're going to have some kind of backend trait implementation. Here we go, right? Do we have some kind of finalized thing here? We're going to add one. We're going to add a backend function called finalize. That takes a mutable reference to self, and that's it. And we're actually gonna call this function by default, so we don't have to worry about it. If anyone else wants to write a backend, they can be safe in the knowledge that we're not gonna mess with them. Okay, it's gonna be good. You can have you tried Arch Linux, Matthew? It's amazing, and it makes you instantly better than everyone else, right? It's really hard to explain this. It doesn't matter if you know Arch or like Linux or anything at all, right? As long as you use Arch Linux, you are better than other people, right? Okay, so we have our finalize function. We have our finish function. Percolate. There you go. Right. Mad hype to all my Finnish people out there. You know, you gotta amuse yourself, right? So there we go. Now, my lovely friends, we can just do a result unit here. Is what we're gonna do. Now we're cooking with glass. All right, that's not the expression. I use Arch, by the way. It's the expression if I say so. Snap. We need to get... No, don't unwrap anything. Do we not have crates in here? Use crate. Error result, please. Damn, son, we don't. Okay. Don't use Ubuntu. That's like the Apple of Linux, right? Super brain, what? Okay, we can't slap a result in there, so let's not. Although it kind of would have been nice to do it. We'll come back to this thing. I think this is going to be subject to changes in the future. There we go. So you know what that means? That means we're gonna do this. Well, somewhere is an equal sign with my name on it. Oh man, that R button. Right, try that again. Fiddlesticks. Oh man, how come I always manage to hit the R button? All right, I don't even know. Find the question mark. Find the question mark. We gotta get rid of the question mark. And then we're gonna say let unit, no, let underscore equals. That's not a unit. If you thought it was a unit, you'll be mistaken. Okay, fixed. Now, real men use Ubuntu. I don't even know how I'm gonna look you in the eye and tell you I'm your real dad after that comment. Ubuntu is the JavaScript of Linux. If you're here and you use Ubuntu, we're just memeing. Don't worry about it. I don't want you to walk away and be like, oh, that streamer's a toxic asshole. All right. Anyway. Okay, we have a warning. And we don't do warnings here, right? We have not just one warning, but we have some warnings in here. Okay, there we go. So we don't need that finish function to have mutable reference to self. There we go. As you should, right? There's nothing serious in this conversation, right? Arch is the signal. You take that back, you no good Nick. You take it back now. Okay, so now we get the error. However, we're never calling the finish function, right? Should we call this thing finish instead? So it gets like all kinds of liners in there. Yeah, why did you use Kali Linux though, Smathy? Which internet forum did you read to convince you to try Kali Linux, okay? Next to Linus, of course. No, LFS makes you have a very insecure operating system that you shouldn't be using, okay? The guy who wrote the Linux part of Linux works. I don't know what that means, Scott. What is the Linux part? The kernel? All right, Liminox, you've been a follower since January this year. Not longer. Wow, it feels like we've been hanging out forever. Feels like only yesterday we did a cold relay together. Hang on, the only person with VIP now, we have established that they don't have any Rust expertise. Don't worry about it, man. Okay, so now we just need to call that finish function, okay? So in our run function here, before we do anything else, we're gonna do self.backend.finish with an H. What are you talking about? Is it because, can we just fix this? Bring in my backend, please. No, don't extract into a variable. It's here. Oh, it's called finalize, you muppet. No one saw that. Damn it. There's many letters in finalize that you didn't know. And now we get proper panics when we do this. Okay? So let's go and fix that debug panic and see if we can run this. Yes, this is working now. Yo, let's do it. All right, there you go. Okay, let's commit this thing. No, they didn't know about iterator adapter, so we don't trust it. Okay, git add -p. There you go. Yes. Only letter is expected. God, yes. What do you think the Y is for then, you pleb? All right, here we go. Here we go. And here we go. And here we go. And here we go. Cargo test. All. Yeah, look at that. Look at all them tests, okay? Look at all these tests. Green as the day is long. Oh, man, I am salivating just looking at it, okay? Git branch. Git push. You know what I forgot to do, though? I forgot to actually add this code. Wait. Git commit -m. Added finalize function to backend to help with panics. Glop, 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 glop. There you go, right? Now, we're gonna add a little update to the conversation. Where are you? There you go. Just pushed to dev. So panics in the backend should be visible. Nice. What happened to the VODs on YouTube? Yeah, I did make a new channel on YouTube. For those of you who don't know, and possibly know but don't care, this is the YouTube channel now. Because there sure is Smathy. Discord, there you go. And you know what we do have on the Discord channel, Smathy? We have a channel called Project Showcase. So when you make some software, if you want other people to look at it, you can post about it in that in that channel, right? It's a place to show off things. If you want feedback and you want people to look at your code and stuff like that and comment on it, then you have to specifically say so, right? There are chances that of course people don't look at other people's code, right? Welcome to the Discord, Smathy. Hiss. I was supposed to say higher. Higher. You see it on the left. It's on the project-showcase. And there's a list of projects that people are working on and building on. Anything on the Bonneville is just general chat and nonsense. Stream and YouTube, that's what we do, announcements of the stream. So if you guys don't know that, you can go there. Programming, we have code help for those of you who are stuck with a problem and want help. We have a specific Rust channel for those of you who want to flex your moral superiority. We have general development for those of you who are not worthy of Rust. And we have code relay, which is not relevant because that took place 5,000 years ago. Then we have challenges, which is muted for me right now, but people are talking about adding the code and 100 days of code. We did a discipline challenge, which I liked. It had very good impact on my life. We have technology and science, where people make shit up and pretend to know things. Then we have complete malarkey and BS, where it's all the memes. And this channel is my dirty secret. It is not. It's my guilty pleasure. So whenever I'm doing something like waiting for my family to spend the next 5 hours to put on shoes so we can go outside, I read the meme channel. It has saved my life. And then we have the projects. There's Tiny Root and Anathema. Nothing's happening in Tiny Root right now, but Anathema is what we're working on now. So there's that. Subbed from all accounts. Wait, what? Oh. Nice. Yes. Thank you, Lyman. Big hearts to you too. I have a video coming out soon. I just have to re-record it because it was so terrible, right? Sometimes I debug Rust by measuring currents on the motherboard with a multimeter. There is no other way, Christopher. People might try to tell you that GDB is the way to go, but they are working for GDB. No doubt they get paid to say so. Sort of. Liminox is the best viewer. Too right. Too right. Liminox mom, if you're watching this, one, why are you watching this? Two, you should be very proud of Liminox. There you go. Let me know if you want a thumbnail. You know what, Viru? I might, okay? That was pretty good, okay? For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, let me find crabs. It's a crabs and slabs, okay? Let me find this for you. Now, there's... Oh, yeah, no, hang on. There it is there. Open link in new tab. There you go. If you guys want to see the thumbnail, look at that. New subscriber. Nice. Do you have some knowledge in reverse engineering and hacking? Not anything that I think is worth sharing. My time in that space was very limited and many, many years ago. This was back when people thought that running an executable they downloaded from a random website was a good idea, okay? So, no. I mean, reverse engineering depends on what you're talking about. If you're talking about reverse engineering software, which I guess you are, then I would say just pick up assembly and learn to disassemble libraries and executables, and you'll be good, right? Where is Cat Peasant? Cat Peasant is streamed yesterday, and they're streaming tomorrow, I think. Not today. All right. So we do a shout out to Cat Peasant. Okay. Cat Peasant is by far one of my oldest viewers. Not in age, but Cato. Oh no, Cat Peasant isn't here. So Cat Peasant is like one of my oldest followers, right? If we could look at Cat Peasant, we can't see Cat, but we can do this. User Cat Peasant. We can see that Cat Peasant has been since 2020. Since 2020, right? Do you have another repo for all your template and testing using? I'm trying to scrape together some help info. Oh, Doddy. Let me see. So, let me think. So I tend to build it and throw it away. Is there anything I can do to help you? Is there anything in particular you want to know? Because I do appreciate that the API documentation is pretty much missing and the guide is very sparse. So let me know what I can help you with, and I'm gonna start working on the better documentation as soon as I know. Trying to figure out loops at the moment. Okay, so loops, there isn't a lot to say about loops, right? They are very, very simple, and you cannot do things with loops that... Okay, let me show you how it works. Right? If I make a VStack here and I put some text in here, and I'm just gonna say hello here, and I run this thing, well, I can't unless I do this. Could you not? Hands? There you go, right? So here's our hello. You know what? Let's get rid of all the other stuff. Actually, let's just comment it out. right? So here's our hello. Now, if I were to put this in a loop, I can say for value in, and then I can make a list like this if I wanted to, as long as I have the comma. Or you can use a list from the state. Then I need to indent this guy, the text, under the loop. And this will become expanded to the equivalent of doing this, right? Well, not there, right? This will translate to this, right? Right, which is why we get hello so many times here, right? What we currently are lacking is a way to dynamically load modules. Components is the words I'm looking for. So you can't have a list of components. There is a conversation about having a function that looks a bit like this. Comp name, right? So you could dynamically load the component, but we don't have that yet. VStack, not Barak. Well, close enough. So that's it. That's a loop. There is not much more to it. We are currently missing a string function where we can convert any type into a string, an int function where we can force a number to be an integer, which means floating points would become integers and such. We're missing a function. We're missing all functions, but functions that's going to be in there, right, would be dynamic loading of components, strings, int, and floating point decimal count or precision, right? They're also useful to have. We don't have that either. And the other thing, the drawback with for loops is... No, wait, that's not what I want at all. That's what I'm looking for. When it comes to loops, there is very little written around this. I think they're inside templates. But this thing is now growing. Yeah, this is all we have about loops. It's not a lot, right? But the important thing here to notice is that for loops does not work inside attributes and can only produce elements. That's important to know. So even though my component is registered as a prototype, it can't be instantiated in the templates in loops. Oh, yeah. But you can't dynamically specify which component, right? So you're absolutely right about the prototype comment, right? So if I register, so I got a prototype here called dropdown, right? So if I go back to the template and I just do this, dropdown, right? We can do this, and then I just do this. Like this. That was a very awkward way of doing it. And then, what do we call this? Values is value, maybe? Hot damn, look at that. So we can do this, and there's obviously things you can do with I mean, we should probably do something like a border around this so you can see the separation between these two. Does that make sense, Doddy? So the dropdown is registered as a prototype, and you can just do it like this. No, we don't have a VIP role. So we don't have moderators on Twitch, and we don't generally have VIPs either, Smathy. I just add one now and then. Oh, show me the code, Doddy, if you want to. If you're shy, I can look at it off stream. I mean, you can paste it on Discord. You can even send it to me in a PM if you feel like you don't want to share. Can I be a moderator? We don't have moderators, Matthew, because we don't need them. Everyone is so sensible. There's like 8 viewers here. We don't need moderators. It's 45 viewers, 44 viewers, right? We got nothing to moderate. Twitch, like, you don't need mods, you bastards. Took it away. Can't. I'm gonna get a drink, then we're gonna do some coding again, right? Hot damn. Yum yum. Oh, maybe I should fix the camera angle. No. That is p.modprog.d. On Discord, yeah, on Discord we have mods because Discord is a far more nefarious universe than NSA. Not mode pro, sorry. That's something else. All right, can I delete this message? Can I ban this person? Damn it. I can't delete my own message. Well, we'll pin this one though. There you go. Use that one. Do something. Have I? Yeah. What's the last thing I said? Both prog. It's just me spamming Discord and telling you guys when I'm back. How many do you have, Wiry? 539. You need to up your game, Wiry, right? Get with the nattering, okay? Make with the talky talk. All right. Ban that spam. I can't ban myself. Ban. Don't tell me what to do, Twitch. You do. All right. Okie dokie. So we fixed the error. We improved the error reporting now. That's going to be quite good. Well, you can ban someone, but you can't prevent them from watching a stream. There is something in Twitch, a setting where you can say that banned viewers can't watch it, but you just open in it in a anonymous browser tab, right? Unless the streamer requires followers only chat or subs only chat or whatever. But I don't think we're quite there yet. Do you? Okay. So we are good to go for the video. I just have to rewrite it so it's not so boring, which is, you know, a challenge in and of itself. And then what should we do? Should we do like can we do like a subscriber only challenge? Challenge? No, channel. Can I do that? Not to be an a-hole, but just so I can share the video with some people. We make it a private channel. And then I'll be like, okay, so for those of you who are subscribed, you can now access my OnlyFans on Discord, okay? Oh, that's grim, man. That's grim. No, sub only chats, Matthew, and you get 0 viewers, okay? Or 0 chatters. No one wants that. Anyway. No, it's too far away for me to take that joke any further. How do you know about Nepal? What? Nepal? What? I don't even know who that is, but that's probably because they're a game streamer, and I'm not. Yeah, me too, Libinox. Have you not seen my YouTube? Anyway, Nepalese Liminox. Limonese. Nepalox? I don't know where I'm going with this. What's a game duel? So a game duel is a game where you have to tune in for a stream when we haven't played game duel yet, right? See, this is how you guys make me feel old and irrelevant, okay? It's comments like this that makes me feel sad, old, and underappreciated. I show speed? No, I don't know what that is. Yeah, who Team Fortress is that? I don't know these gamer nerds. What are you talking about, man? Honestly, I don't know who they are. Okay, so what's the next thing? We've now improved this though, right? Thank you, Scott. I can't even imagine people not knowing I show speed, lol. What is I show speed? Not I shot speed. An American YouTuber and live streamer from Ohio. Dude, my socks are older than this person. Entertaining videos, music, and funny moments on iShowSpeed's YouTube channel. Is this like a reaction streamer? Prank call. Okay. So it's like prank reaction streams and prank streams, right? All right, we'll start with the AML. Yes, yes, yes. Glyph column. There's only one here, so that doesn't make sense to have a vertical stack. All right, and then for X in glyph. All right, so for every, you have a bunch of glyphs, you're going to load the glyph one and then character. Okay, so Dotty, without looking at this code, you need to pass the character in here, right? Or is it always the same character? Oh, I understand what you're doing. I understand what you're doing, Dotty. One of my favorite games as a kid was Superplex and Chips Challenge. No, I don't think so. Superplex and Chips Challenge. Let me just look at this thing before we dive into Dotty's code. Oh my god. This looks quite nostalgic, but I don't know the game. Did you ever play The Incredible Machine? Did you ever play this? Okay, let's have a look. Smathy, someone wrote the Rust compiler in Rust in Minecraft. I think it was Rust compiler in Redstone. I've been blocked. Someone did something crazy and rusty on there. Let's have a look at this thing, right? Okay, so character, we have a car. Color, yeah. Glyph states, you set it up. That's cool. Interesting, I wonder what you're doing with the color as a number. Okay, glyph does nothing. It's a component, okay. Why don't I just run this code? Why don't I just run this code? Oath. Oh. There we go. We're going to use Prelude because I am that lazy. Whoops. Components. Yep, that lazy. And then we're going to grab this code. And then we're going to toss it up a little and look at it and make sense of it. Okay, so we're going to get a few compile errors here, but before we get into it, first of all, this one doesn't have any fields, so we're not going to have anything for this. We're just going to go straight for that one. There's nothing happening on tick right now, but I get something's going to happen. We have a value. We can just pass this by ownership. It's a copy type, so we'll ditch that. Color is not working. Yeah, we'll get to it though, right? Were there smartphones available when I was a kid? I hate everything. I figured. Okay, so here's another column. We don't need that. Whoops, we do need this. But we don't need this. Get rid of it. Yeah, we're going to get that, Dottie. I see what you're doing. So we're going to change this to just template. For no other reason than I want to. And then we're going to grab this code. Well, we're not going to grab the code because these are different components. So we're going to grab that. We're going to do something shortly with it. Why don't we just change that? Well, actually, before we do any of that, you're using the size. This is interesting because this was a question that has come up in the past, whether we... I don't think you need this. I was very young, Smithy. I was at the age, it doesn't really matter how young I was. I was young and it doesn't mean anything. No one cares. No one cares how young I was. No one cares that I could barely read when I started programming. All right, so then we don't need this movie either. Okay, so yes. However, Doddy, we have the size available when we do something, right? Wait, actually, no, let me see. So we do the column thing here. Yeah. See, we don't have rangers, Dottie, so I don't think this is gonna help. But it's the height. Okay, we'll see where this leads. I feel like I'm not quite there. Singular. All right, let's get time duration in. Let's get FS read to string in. Let's get the backend in. We don't need that. We can just pass the glyph. We don't need that. We can just pass the state. Oh no, that one we have to pass. But then we can just pass the new function pointer instead, right? We don't need that. We do need that as is. But height isn't borrowed. All right, we do need the move then. Surely I changed that, didn't I? Yeah. Okay, all good. Look, we don't even have warnings. Good work, Dottie. I didn't start programming Rust until about 2016, 2017. See, Dottie, we now at least can see the panics. Okay, so we're registering this prototype. We don't have the glyph.aml file, so let's make a new glyph.aml. I'm being lazy and I don't create a separate directory for them, so this is the glyph.aml. Okay, so the color doesn't work yet. I see why. We need a hex number for that. Now we have... Which is the next template? We have glyph column. All right, let's put the glyph column in there as well. So this one implies that we have a collection, which I don't think we do, right? Trade main panic and main 87. Which is not here then? We have the template. I'm sorry, Privan. Unsub Privan. Can we do that? No. All right. That's because Smethy learned Rust in 4 hours, Privan. All right. Did you learn Rust in 4 hours? I don't think so. All right, 87. Which one of these is it that's failing then? Did I not make glyph column? We got glyph and glyph column. Empty template. Okay, glyph. This is an empty. Okay, so I can see the need for another error message here. No, I don't have anything in the template. So we're not loading this, but that shouldn't... Oh, hang on. This is empty. Sorry. This is empty. There we go, right? Okay, cool. So now we got it compiling. We got it running. Now we can start putting things together, Dottie. Now we gotta... It's time. The time for dawdling is now. Don't dawdle. I say that to my kid more frequently than I should have to. Don't dawdle. Oh, really? You have to watch Twitch in 480? But do you get like 720 or whatever from YouTube then? Okay, so now we have to start figuring this out, right? So we start at the main template. So we're supposed to have a glyph column, okay? That's all we load. So why don't we put a border around this to see it? There it is. Here's our lonely little border with nothing in it, okay? Let's go to the glyph column and see what we need here, right? So for X in glyphs, we don't actually have glyphs here, right? So let's go to main and find the glyph state. That's gonna be glyph column. So this just contains a number, right? Really, Rebel? It should be on YouTube. Let me grab you a link. It should be on this channel. So yeah, Dottie, this is not a collection of anything. This is just a number. So there is no range now. We can probably make ranges at some point, but there isn't one at the moment, so we can't do much with that. So for a glyph column, we could just make a list of it, right? Oh, use p.modprog.de, right? Use this one, Smathy, to share code. Because this is not, no one's gonna read this. This will just break your eyes. Okay, so what we could do, Dottie, we can make this into a collection, right? We can make this into a list of view size. Now we have to pass in 0 to height, and that means that this thing, wait, not there. This thing here is gonna be that flipping R. Unto iter. Come on, no R's. There we are, U size. So we just have to pass in 0, 2 here. Does that make sense, Dottie? Yeah, these are already characters, right? So for this thing, you don't have to do it this way, right? You can just go to, you can use play.rustlang.org as well if you want to, right? So for this thing, you could just do, oh, I don't have my Vim bindings, right? You can just do push here. Not is already an iterator, right? So you could just do iter and then collect here if you wanted to. Or, oh man, I can't even do, like, can we get Vim bindings in here? Jeepers. Editor. Vim. Oh, okay. Can we now... Whew. Okay, there you go, right? Let's see what Skylar did then. Yeah, you can do that. So technically, if we wanna go a little bit further than this, Skylar, all right, then we could do not. Oh, really? Dot iter dot join with show.iter, and before you lose your marbles, all right. Collect is not a thing. All right, hang on. Not join, so chain. Oh no, I can't comment out. And then here we can also chain that guy. Okay. No, really? Man, this thing being like difficult. And then we could we can collect this into a string, okay? If we're gonna be particular. There you go, all right? You don't need any of this. There's your message, okay? This is one way of doing it. You gotta get those iterator adapters out, right? I think Modprog is like, I haven't seen him in a few days. I think he's on a holiday or something. In JavaScript. No, it is not better. It's obfuscated. This is terrible. It's complex to read because it's poorly written, right? Not for any other reason. Oh, hang on. Wait, no. You wrote... Where's the function name, right? It's the function name. But yeah, why is this all on one line, right? It's like you used uglify on it and then nothing, right? It is not more pleasant to read. This is obviously pure bliss to read. Okay, moving on. Now, come back here. We were dealing with Dotty's code. Okay, so now, Dotty, did you follow what I did, right? So I took your size height and made it into an iterator. And then I said the new function takes something that implements into iterator. So now we actually have a list, right? Does this make sense, Dotty? Dotty has gone. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. But Dotty, to be I think you'd be better off using a canvas object for this particular exercise, but we should be able to do this maybe. Yeah, we're basically using a range on the Rust side of things, but then we have a concrete collection of numbers on the Anathema side of things. But remember that we need as many columns as not, right? It would be so nice if we could have height available in the template and ranges. So that's a thought, right? No, that was Phil that gave you a sub. Void come Phil that gave you a sub. Can you rotate your camera slightly so there's no visible light blue line on the border? I can't, Rebel, because the camera is very not correctly set up. Nothing here is set up. This blue line here is the end of the backdrop, but the backdrop is too short. It's all good. Well, I can't speak for Phil, obviously. It's just today, Rebel. I'm gonna fix all this. There's like holes in it where the bunnies have been chewing on it as well. All right, so where are we going from here now? So everything is placed in the middle, but I don't think we should place things in the middle, right? I think we should instead place everything. Yeah, it should be a horizontal stack as well, Dottie. I'm just wondering about this. So we need like an H stack here with rows, right? But that means that we need like a main template here. So why don't we just load main in here and then we register a component here, runtime, register component, main, and it's gonna be template. Wow. And then we're gonna go here and do that. But then we actually do need, we're gonna get rid of that. So now we actually need those values in there. I sure am, Christopher. If you have any questions or whatever, please just throw them my way. Half an hour. I'll try. Okay. So then we have the column state. Let's have the main state of this thing, right? Let's just make a struct called index here. And then we're gonna implement component for index. And we need to have a state. So we're gonna have a struct rows. And that's gonna be a state. And we're gonna have rows here. Value. All right, enjoy. We can use a byte for this. We don't need to use any more than that. Well, I've seen your Rust, Matthew. I'm not gonna take what you say too serious about that. Rows. And then here. Then we're gonna copy this in here. And we're gonna change this to width. From iter. Now, this is an item use size, so we have to change this to bytes. And now we just have to add the rows to all this. So we're going to start by adding index here. And then here we're going to do rows new, and we're going to pass in 0 to size.width as u8. Wait, type mismatch is not because of that. That's because we don't have a state called rows here. There we go, right? So now, here we go, Dottie. Now we have the grid. Sure I am, Liminox. Send it my way. Better not be freaking web development, though. I swear I'll come after you, mate. So go for it. Okay, so what should we do here, Dottie? Right? So should we fix the colors, right? How you doing, Gandalf? So colors can either be hex or strings. So let's get hex in here. Well, I don't know what we do. We just do this into. So now we should have colors. However, in Tmux, in NeoVim, those colors won't work. But there we go. GPT, the numpad, got a few days off. Say what now? Got the numpad, got a few days off. You cursed pirate software. No, yes, sorry, Dottie. It's, yeah, because a hex value would just be a U32. we could maybe start interpreting color numbers as colors, but we have to decide which one because there's the ANSI color as well. So many years ago, not that many years ago, I think maybe a year and a half or 2 years ago, Privan actually asked for ANSI colors in Anathema, and we added this. This was way before the rewrite. It doesn't exist anymore, right? All right, go on, Gandalf, curse us. I see. Seems simple enough. Yeah, of course it is Liminox. I was just memeing, right? But now we're going to think about what we're going to do here, right? For this. Is it Dottie? What? Liminox? Do you need to instantly make this private? Do you have database keys in there? So, Dottie, are you familiar with the canvas? The canvas allows you to draw cells at positions. This might be a lot easier to use. I don't want to lead you astray, but, you know, okay. Okay, in that case, Liminox, we're good. Let's look at the source. Let's brave the world of web. Okay, I think we're gonna clone this. Okay. What's that? Let's Ruve. Email client, really? Yeah, I just think that specifically what you want to solve, though, this sounds very, very much like you are wanting to draw. Okay, we're gonna do a code review. That's what we're gonna do. Oh, it's this thing. Oh my god, I'm being a thicko. Okay, we'll wait 10 years for Tokyo to build. Wow. Well, that would be a sphincter, Gandalf. That would be a sphincter, and you have many sphincters in your body, right? How many do we have, right? How many sphincters in the human body? Where they are found and purpose. So there's sphincters everywhere, right? It's not just your bum. You got esophageal sphincter, which would be around here somewhere. Pyloric sphincter. Ileoceal sphincter. sphincter of the Oddi. You got anal sphincters, urethral sphincters, precapillary sphincters. So this would be... There you go. The iris sphincters are within your eyes. The iris is the color part of your eye surrounding the pupil. There are two sets of iris sphincter muscles, right? So again, there's lots of sphincters in your body, right? And yes, they're the eyes, right? Okay. There is one at the bottom of your stomach that I don't have. That sucks, Scott. So we're just a fleshy tube broken up by a series of sphincters. Yep. We're all just sphincters. Okay. Right. So let's start by picking at the code. All right. Do we even need to collect that? Well, you're saying if args len is larger than 1, but args will always have a length. No, it won't always have a length larger than 1. Ah, right. So then, do we use args for anything else? I don't think so. Right? It's just there. There. All right. We don't need it. I'm gonna do things, right? I haven't played the guitar in a long time. You know what? It doesn't really matter. I don't have to mess with that. Don't delete the code at the end. Okay, I'll try not to. So it's odd to do a debug and a print line, but whatever, it's all good. You're returning in either case here, so let's move the return to the end of the function instead. And that means we can make this into a one-liner. Okay. All right, let's explore, shall we? So we can start with Dark Scout, maybe. Oh my god. Why is there so much code in here? We started with the web API then. All right, an async test. We don't need that, do we? That was just nonsense, was it? No, it wasn't. Probably Skylar. I'm not worried about it. I know what you mean. Okay. So why are we doing this? Why are we cloning out the settings? Do not leak string into static, okay? So why are we cloning settings there as well? And then here we're using a reference to settings. There seems to be little to no reason why we are cloning the settings. Yeah, there is no reason. Okay. This comment is meaningless because this function is so very specific. And also, you're not mentioning options. So this comment is just wrong. And then it's all, this is just boilerplate stuff. Where's the thing workspace twice? I never write comments. Let's go back and fix that while I remember this thing, right? So it's gonna be if let sum command is equal to next. There we go. Good spot, Skylar. Okay, back to this. That's alright, Matthew. No one knows. Not even I know what's going on. Okay. Damn. Okay, these are just... oh no, he's leaking his secret. Everybody quickly write it down. I guess we can't avoid the Dark Scout anymore. Let's start digging into it. Okay, first of all, very good at doing this and no glob imports or anything. So props to you for doing that. We can start from here then. Okay, don't mix your like use statements. Put use statements at the top and then your modules, right? That's all good. Do it that way. It'll make life better for everyone involved. Why do we have to require the self is sized here? How are you using this thing? Why would you need to allow that? I'm hoping there are some tests. And the compiler, unless you have like a really old, do you have like a really old Rust version? Or not really old, but because there is no need for this, right? I don't see the need for this. Unless you have something specifically telling you not to use that. $168. Okay. Do a Rust up update, right? You should be on 170.1. Sorry. 168. You should be on 182 now. 180.1, is it? Yeah, 180.1. Like, that's really old. Well, it's not really old, but it's strangely old. There's nothing wrong with it, but you don't need that, right? Why do we need this? Oh, we need this because you're returning south. That's why we need that. Okay, then I'm with you. Okay, let's go back up to the Dark Scout module. Let's look in the cache. See what's up in the cache. Nothing particular here. Some old code that we're gonna delete. URI is, this returns a string, so you don't have to do this, okay? You can just borrow this thing. All right, this is fine. You don't have to specify the type. Do we use the URI anywhere so it's legit to even have that argument? No, don't have it. Yeah, that's fine. I like writing types. That's also fine. There's so much unwrap in this code. You don't use an LSP? Generally, neither do I, but, well, I mean, I do. Why don't you set your LSP up in a similar way to me then? Then you don't get the bullshit, but if you ask for it, you can get the information when you need it, which is the whole point to me, right? Rust has implicit return. We don't need that. All right, docs, we're gonna leave that. So it's odd, you call these like L1, L2, and L3 cache, but they're not CPU things. They're not CPU caches, right? Which is nothing wrong with it, but also the module statements goes down there. Otherwise, I'm gonna have JIP. Connected database. I don't think. First of all, you don't need to clone that inside a print line. That is unnecessary. That's not going to result in a move. Match on this thing. That's the pool. Don't have to call as ref here either. All you have to do is just pass that by reference and you're good. Okay, that's fair enough, Libenox. Web developers don't know anything about caching anyway. Don't worry about it. But to me, I was reading that as like some kind of CPU cache thing, right? It's all good. It's all good. All right, so what's the pool here? It's a pool Postgres. Why are we cloning the pool? Okay, so we're using the pool here as well. What does this return? What is the pool? It's a pool Postgres. What does that look like? Caches clay. Very good, Arbaya. What is the pool? That is what I want to know. So this is a pool Postgres. We can do a cargo doc open here. I think Johnny Cash is quite familiar or a well-known. I think there's even some caching software called Johnny Cash. I think I heard about that one in, I think it was like 2008 or whatever, at a social network I was working for. We're not going to say what that network was called, but you've never heard of it, I'm sure. All right, so we're going to have a pool that is generic over. It's a Postgres pool, though. It is a Postgres pool, isn't it? No, it's a pool of Postgres. So, okay, let's just look at what a SQLX pool is. All right, let's look at the source of this thing. See, this one is an arc, though, so that's fine. In that case, clone away, Squire. Clone away. Max connections 1. So hardcode the number. Why is this 1, Livenox? MySpace. Yeah, compile times are gonna be slow with these things. You got loads of generics, so there's monomorphization happening, and there's lots of dependencies. So yeah, it's gonna be slow. Now we got it. I just want to know if it was something that was using an arc under the hood. So when you're cloning all these things, I just want to be sure. But why is verified domain repo? So this one doesn't make any sense. Why are we doing an arc for the verified domain repo when the pool is already in an arc? What is it that you possibly would be cloning here? All right, and we don't have to clone the last thing. All right, this is the last thing that uses the pool, so we can move it here. Otherwise, it's not necessary, but otherwise you're incrementing a counter and then decrementing it the moment this function ends. But more importantly, all of these seem to just be... They just contain the pool, right? And it's always going to be the same pool. So it doesn't really make sense to make these... You basically have an arc inside an arc, right? So I think for this PG store, that one makes sense to be an arc. And then more importantly, this user repo has its own pool. So why does the PG store have a pool? All right, I think we can make... Can we get rid of some of these things? Let's see what it looks like if we get rid of some arcs from here. Let's see what breaks. Nothing. All right, then. So nothing breaks. Well, what about this guy? Nothing breaks. Okay, well, should we just do the whole lot then, right? We do the lot. Okay. Welcome back, Temporas. How was your gaming session? Okay, Limenox, nothing needed the arc. So you be incrementing a counter within a counter, and it makes no sense to do it, right? So you're fine. These can all be clones. You don't pay per space. Chuck in some new lines here and there. I mean, assume you don't pay per space. It was good. Nice, nice. Okay. I don't know if you're doing something nefarious with them outside of this code. I can only go by this code. Okay, so this is just traits, and I'm not gonna go and clear out these things because they don't do anything. Yeah, Limenox, it's hard to say because this code base isn't small, right? Where are we in the grand scheme of things? We're on the database, and we're not even all the way in here, right? It's an odd max or match of, or mix rather, of implicit and explicit return here, right? Hello, Bean Juice. How you doing, buddy? Oh yeah, no, they are the honest guys always, Livenox, just so you know. Your query is wrong. What's wrong with it, Bean Juice? Is it select? This one has a typo in it, but I'm not gonna do that. Which one? Yes. you little goblin you are, huh? You little goblin. I think you are subject of a troll, Livenox. But obviously you have to try these things out. Why does record have an underscore? This makes me confused. Why does record have an underscore? And why are we cloning the record? Use of partially moved value. I'm just gonna make a guess here. Right? Okay. There's no reason for this to hold on to them, right? It kind of works though. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, well, this thing takes t, where value is t, that is send and encode, and I'm gonna assume that this is implemented for most base types, right? It's not my query, Bean Juice, so I don't know. Nah, Rust got you covered, man. It's not gonna compile if you're trying to do something wrong with that. Okay, this makes no sense to me. This blows my mind. As a matter of fact, Livenox, should I even fix this? Do you know what's wrong here? Okay, do you know what's wrong here? There we go. Yes. No, the code was doing this. If it's okay, return okay. If it's an error, return error. Basically, the match statement does nothing, right? You're just adding code. Same again below. Look how pretty this is now. Don't need the match. I failed to delete it. Okay, here you're actually using the result, right? But since you're using the result, why don't we just say let result equals this, and then we debug the result after the fact, and then we return result. Now I can get rid of that. E, right? Wait, this didn't return the result? No, it just returns okay. Ah, even better then, right? There you go, even better. It's all good. Yeah, that's it, right? Okay, so we can do that. That's fine. That's like database invitations. Let's have a look. What else you got? Let's look at entry points. Okay, not a lot going on there. Handlers. Oh, let's just pick one. Uses. Holy. Okay. Ooh. Damn. All right. You got option, you got option, you got a match with a none that does nothing, right? This is so ripe for a rewrite. So we're going to say that this is equal to default workspace. And then this is going to be, you could just map the option. You could map the option here. Wait, but this is just creating a member workspace. What is this even doing? Nah, I would do this. I would do this like this. Workspace. No, it's a member workspace. And this is all we do, right? And this is gonna be the workspace. All right. Why even bother with the map? Can we dereference that? Why is this supposed to be an option? I don't know. I haven't gotten there. I haven't gotten there yet, Skylar. Workspace still needs to be an option. But then is there a point to doing that part then? So this is supposed to be an option of a member workspace, but we're passing in a reference to a member workspace here. Why are we passing in a reference to an option of a member workspace then? Yeah, but why are we passing in an option for a default member workspace? The only place where it's being used is here, right? Yeah. So there's no reason to pass in an option of our reference to our member workspace. Let's just find where this is being used. Oh, but why are we creating this here then? But this is already mapping it, right? Why not do this then? Because we're always going to clone it. You didn't want to clone it because it's written earlier in the project. Yeah, but you are going to clone it anyway in here, right? There is no early return here, is there? So you're always using the workspace. So there is no way we can return here, right? The map is unnecessary. Now we just have to change the function signature. And then the workspace is looking like that. You have to create this either way, right? the default workspace does nothing, right? It always exists. You're always going to use it. And there is no way you can return early from this function. So none of this code makes any sense. This doesn't do anything. I'm getting the impression that the same can be done for the member record as well. So if there is some member record, we're always going to use that too. So, no, wait, that's the member profile. No, wait, they're the same. No, that's member data. So you want to convert the member data to a member profile. Okay. I have no idea, Bean Juice. You're the one who brought it up. Hello, Xcoding. It's not my code. So this member profile could definitely be mapped in that case. Well, that's only if member profile implements from, or member profile implements from member data. What was faster? What is it that is faster? No, we improved the error experience of Anathema this evening. And then with some leftover time, I'm just poking at other people's code. So we have member data and member record, right? How are they differing? Join that, UTC, and then you have native. Profile picture, string, option string, status. Holy, why are these even different? There's like some additional information. But member data and member record looks suspiciously similar, right? Is this could be a database thing, right? This could be a SQLX thing, so. Copy and paste was faster in Vim with macros. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, here you can do a map in that case. So we just do a member record.map to D. And then you don't need that. What? Mismatch closing the limiter, okay. That one's there. That one's... Wait. We need one more curly bracket. There we go. All right. Okay. Arbaya, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It's very kind of you. Oh, fair enough, Liminox. Hello, Tani. How you doing? Oh, where are you hanging out? That's cool, Tani. User data. Username is the email. That's a string. That's clearly a string. Doing well. Nice. So when you call as ref or as mute on an option, Christopher, oh, you're in Auckland. Nice. When you do that, you're converting an option T into an option reference to T, right? With as ref. So it's not a reference to the option. The option is a reference to the thing it wraps all of a sudden. 6 hours and you're in Auckland. Go and tell everyone about the Southern Islands. I don't know, man. Watch some Back of the Y. I don't know, man. Okay, user profile is gonna be user data again, and that's this thing, yeah. So wait, why are these not being cloned, but this is? That doesn't seem right to me. Oh, the username and the email are, that's why you're cloning this thing. Oh, right. Fair enough, Tanny. I have no clue what the flip is, if it is. I know nothing about code. That's all right, Eclipse era. The one thing I want to learn the most is Lua, which I do not have time to learn, sadly. Well, if you don't have time to learn it, then yeah, that's gonna be a problem. I mean, we all have time to do the things we say we don't have time to do. We just prioritize other things, right? Because we have 30 minutes to spend every day on some task we don't want to do, but we kind of choose not to because it's probably boring, right? Oh. Thank you, Christopher. Okay, so user profile, we're cloning the user profile. That means that the user profile is being used later on. There and there. Okay, props to you for not cloning the user profile one last time. What is TS? Is it timestamp? So you could do this if you wanted to, right? You could change this to be duration from seconds. Although that's not necessarily going to add much to this. So these are both 24 hours, right? So we could just do a constant, right? Const day is a duration. And that's going to be a duration from from seconds. I keep typing 69, that is not on purpose. We can do this. So now we have a day to work with. And now so we add duration to this. And then we fix that. Okay, so now that we have our day, then we can go down to our day again. And then this is just a day, right? So we're gonna say day as millis as use size. Is this U size? No, it's I64. Then we have 2 casts. That's not super nice. Although arguably it is... Actually, no, we already have that cast. So the same thing applies here. So we just have to do that. And then here for our week, we can do our day. As millis times 7, right? So it's a little bit... I don't know. It's about as much code, but it reads better to me. We could also just change this into a week. So our day, then our const week is gonna be our day times 7, basically. All right. But then we can do this as millis. Then we just have to cast this. Okay, so we're gonna do this then. So we make the week into a duration from this time as milliseconds. But then this is gonna be as millis instead. So we do this instead. Right. I mean, now you can't really go wrong with this. But this thing has to be a U60, an i64 first. So maybe we make these into i64s instead then. To appease that thing. You have to maintain it. Yeah, that's a reason to do most things. Okay, so now we can get rid of all this thing. So we just said TS plus a week. That just reads so much better to me. So TS plus a day, TS plus a week. Yeah. And you didn't even have to say 24 hours and milliseconds here because you know you're adding a data timestamp, right? But no harm in doing so. Props for writing one with O&E. Good writing. Good spot. No one saw nothing. Unwrap or else. Here, you can just replace this with a string new, right? Because you're effectively doing the same thing. Or not. Is that a... Oh, right. Ah, yeah, it's unwrap or else. What is this thing? That's going to be the error. Well, we could just do an unwrap or here, right? So the disadvantage... or unwrap or default. Yeah, that's probably the best one to do here. I agree with Vadek on this one. Let's do unwrap or default because it's a string, right? We don't have to pass any closures or anything in there. They're only... Let's have a look at this thing. No, this is fine. So it's not going to do anything unless there's an error. Which, unlike the other one, we actually would have done something, but it doesn't matter. Oh yeah, the compiler's happy. Not an issue. This is a string. Yeah, I don't need to write the type. Is this gonna make sense? How much use of state.db do we have in there? That we actually want to declare our own. Maybe not. No, I don't think it warrants having that. This one is a little bit longer. I get this one. Why is form underscore? Are you never using it? Yes, you are. So let's not underscore form. Form is definitely in use. Okay, let's. This thing, this thing would have been nice if it was a little bit. This looks somewhat familiar. Yes, this looks very familiar. Yeah, so if you use the underscore, you're basically saying, this is the value, but I'm not going to use it. I think I've looked at this function in the past, haven't I? This, to me, just seems like we could implement default here, right? And then we just do unwrap or default and get rid of all of that. Okay, fair enough. This is already a string. There's no way you're gonna read this as anything other than a vec of strings. Here we're doing a map again. There we go. It's all good, Liminox. So where do we go from here? Import into response. Got it. So we are doing that. That means that this thing doesn't. It is a login response. We don't have to specify that. Get rid of that code. All right, I'm gonna probably not dig through all of this code. You can sort of see what we're doing everywhere with a lot of this stuff. Let's see if there's anything obvious that sticks out. All right, so we're using new verification code. Why do we have to own the email here? Because we're creating this invitation. A new Dart search handlers. Okay. Like this code? Good work, Eustace. Are you enjoying it? Maybe it's too early to say. New dark search handlers. Is where should I go for that? Here are the handlers. No, you said dark search handlers. Okay. Where is that? Okay. Here. Is this it? Yeah, I think that's what we are. Dark monitor mod. That's what we're looking at now. That's a string, yeah. We don't need that function call. We don't need that either. the same thing applies here. We don't need all these explicit returns. It's already there. Well, there's not a lot going on here, so it's not too much of a brain fart to look at this. I'm guessing that should not be hard coded, right? I think maybe like some of these things could be created from a function, but it doesn't matter, right? Okay, here you got a map. Okay, this makes no sense. This is a string, right? Yeah. So making a string from a reference like that, that's literally what we have clone for. And the same thing's gonna be true of this, of all of this. Then what is this? Breach name. Wait, we're taking ownership of this breach name. So why? No. Hang on. Just a second here, son. Hello, Mark. How you doing? Into it, thank you. Okay. We're not cloning anything here, okay? You already have ownership of this. So there's no reason for any of this, okay? Just use things as you see fit. Right? You already own these things. You already moved them in here. Don't need to clone that. Don't need to clone this. Or this. Or that. Or that. This one you do. But there we go, right? We just have to do this first. No problem. Yeah, you can see that from the signature. That you have a vec. There's no reference here. This isn't a reference. That can only mean that you're taking ownership, right? And if we call into it, then we're taking ownership of that too, right? And then we don't need to collect that either. Well, actually, we do need to collect it, but we don't need the semicolon there. Alright, so you have a lot of this email as stir thing, but in reality, you just need to pass a reference to them. It's not needed to do anything else. Just get rid of the semicolon and the explicit return, sorry. Alright, I'm not going to update all these return statements, but it's the same thing there, right? Just get rid of the explicit returns. They don't make any sense to have. The last expression in Rust is always returned, so well, now I'm doing it anyway. Okay, so is there anything else you want me to look at? My brain is slowly turning to mush. But like this is web development. If you allocate a string here or there, that's like not a massive headache, given that you're already bogged down by the network I/O and everything. I'm not saying unnecessary allocations, right? But if you have to break your brain to dispatch a few allocations to hell, then don't do it, man. Right, is there anything more that we can look at? Let's go to... Was it like the search? Was it the scout handlers? Is this where we're looking? Yeah, it was the dark monitor. Let's look at the rest of the stuff. Nothing going on there. Again, like explicit return. Don't need it. This is mostly like business logic, right? So it's not really, yeah. Oh, pants, I'm tired. What do you think about level of abstraction and project structure stuff? Yeah, run Clippy is good advice. Project structure, I mean, this looks like every other website, right? So I would say don't over-engineer things if you don't have to, right? And I think this is a common approach when it comes to software development, but they don't do it, right? So what I would say. There we go. Now the cables stay put. What I would say is do this, right? Get the project going and then let the abstractions organically grow. Be disciplined with your refactoring, okay? One of the reasons we tend to over-engineer things is because we want there to be... We don't want to go back and refactor, right? We want to be able to have this like copy-paste solution that continues to be a one-size-fits-all kind of thing, right? But that never really works with when your code hits reality, right? Or when you're like a couple of months in, then these abstractions they're just more code that you copy and paste, right? No, it will never happen, right? You can never have it perfect from the get-go. So I would say get rid of, one size fits none. Oh, that's right. I would say get rid of the abstractions and start building them up as you need them, right? Where I felt like there was a lack here was more that you had a lot of structs that looked the same, right? Welcome back, Smithy. So there was a lot of things that looked the same to me. They just had a few fields differ, right? And this might be a limitation of SQLX, but when we're programming and we have something, do we have a main function? Okay, this will suffice, right? So when you have a struct A, and inside this struct you have name, string, pants, string, florp, string, glorp, usize, right? When you have something that looks like this, and then you have a B, and the only thing that differs here is the email, then in my book, the right way to design this struct is to call it a C that is generic over T, where T represents this field, right? Maybe it's a state of T. So I can represent both A and B with C without the need to have anything there, right? Can I get an artist? No, you have to do some art first, Matthew, right? We give artist tags to people who have made emotes or drawn art for the YouTube videos or something like that, right? But if you come up with something, Smathy, and it's good, and we use it, then yeah. You can simply inherit class from another instance as well. Nice try, Rebel. Nice try. But this struct can represent A and B to the degree, right? Let's make the email an actual email, right? So we have a type for this thing. Okay. Now, if this was our code, we can now represent A by saying that struct or type A is equal to C over string. And B is C over email, okay? So we don't even need these two. Right? This is how easy we can declare them, right? You're not citing the Rust book. There's no inheritance in Rust, you lark. I do use stick figures of our hot tub stream. Not sure why I don't have the tag. I don't think I saw them. Oh, I'm married, Liminox. But I'm flattered. I'm sure I can do something. I'm a web designer. My friend is a designer. But don't you rather use that for skill for something useful, Smithy? Smathy, sorry. I mean, you're more than welcome to suggest things, Smathy. Absolutely, right? If you draw something and we end up using it on stream, you absolutely get the artist tag for that, right? It would be an a-hole to not do that, right? I wanted to make a generic repository, but failed because I needed lifetimes, I think. Okay. Let's pick at that, maybe, right? Yes. Oh, Marek, I made a video. I don't know if you were here when I talked about it. I spent 12 hours recording and editing, and the next day I looked at it and I was like, this isn't funny, and I threw it away. Where's the inheritance? Feed initialization shorthand is not inheritance. Go to types store. Okay. So I am a little bit allergic to this. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me tell you something, Liminox. Calling it types, that's like making a C# project where you have a directory called classes. Okay. And no, that is even that would be more specific because you would only have classes in there, right? But you'd make one that contains all your types, right? It doesn't make sense, right? You can set it. You can share it on Discord. Traits are inheritance light. Oh, you have to squint really hard though, right? Okay, let's look in the store. Apparently I quit because you have types, right? Yes, but surely it's not common practice in C++ to name a directory types. That's literally a directory for everything. It's like having a directory somewhere in the middle of your code that's called source, right? Do you got the Eastwood style squint? Creating instances from other instances with struct update syntax, but what is inheritance then? Sent it. Have you? I don't see it. Oh wait. Very good, Smithy. I might have to weigh whether I want to use that for a while. Okay. Does Go have type directories? That makes no sense. You do that in C++. That makes... Okay, I'm calling you C++ developers out now, okay? I'm calling you all out. Do you genuinely have a directory called types? What do you put in there? Everything you define is a type, right? Everything you create is a type. Clinton Eastwood has nothing on my squint. All right, I'll put it to the test. Are you streaming tonight, Marek? Functions directory? Yeah, functions and types. I'll draw you an emoji of me squinting. You cannot do that, right? That is bananas. Defining an instance, creating instances from other instances with struct update syntax. Is this not? Yeah, it's just using this thing, but this is an inheritance. They have to be of the same type. There is no inheritance here. All you do is you move values in there. It's just shorthand for initializing this user with the fields from this user, right? There's no inheritance happening there, right? Inheritance would mean that you're extending something with new or different functionality, right? Types, stuff, and vogue on poetry, right? That one's beautiful, right? What am I looking at again? Oh yeah, you had types, right? Okay. So where do we get lifetimes here, Liminox? Where is it that lifetimes kind of tripped you up a little? Alright, and then this thing doesn't make any sense. Why isn't this just an async function that returns self? But that's not even composition. That is initialization, right? There's nothing other than initialization. I want to struct repo tu pub dbu. Okay. Walk it off, Vadik. Everybody settle down. I'm back. Welcome back, Scott. I wanted to struct repo tu with pub dbu. Yeah, that's fine. And I wanted to only import stores for each types of resources. Again, Liminox, this sounds like abstractions for the sake of abstractions, but I'll humor you on this one. So you wanted a struct that is a repo that is generic over T and U, where U is going to be the database, which means there's some constraint over this thing. Yeah, database. So like this, yeah. I don't know what we're going to put in here. But we have it now. And to only implement the stores for each types of resources. So I have to write so much code because I couldn't figure out generics. Okay. Not this clear, simple read rubbish code, right? If you can read it, you're not gonna get paid enough. Exactly. I want job security. There you go, man. Okay, so I don't know what you want to do with the repo, but we made it now. I don't know what T is gonna do. I don't know what store is either. I guess what you could do that is you could have a user repo like this. And then you have a type user repo equals to repo user. Oh my god, spelling. And then what? Postgres? Or we make this thing generic over the database. Good grief. I am definitely at the end of my rope here. Like that? Is that what you wanted, Liminox? There's already a user repo, so we have to make a user repo too. Oh no, hang on. Ours is user repo too. There you go. No one knows what T does. Yeah, I'm guessing this is maybe what you're looking at. I feel like is it a bowl that's falling over and the chopsticks is sort of falling on the ground? Is that what I'm looking at, Smathy? No one has any. No one who's not. People who are not watching the stream is gonna have no context why there's a bunch of emojis pasted in the community chat now. I don't want to make user repo. Okay, then let's not make user repo. What? Why do we have user repo? All right, so we have our public repo now. So you want to use our public repo instead, where the database is a clone. But what does the user have to do, right? So this is our database. What's with the T? Why do we even need the user? It doesn't do anything. There's no implementation for the user repo or anything. All it is a pool, basically. So this thing is supposed to have a pool like that, but I don't know what it does, right? Why do we have this? Why does this thing exist? There's no impl for user repo. There is, hang on. There is this. But then we can do this. Right? Does this make sense, Limenox? You need some struct here. Yes, and because you have unique implementations that does these things, you have to have some type associated with it, right? Unless you want to do something horrendously perverse with const generics. Yeah, and how are you going to use the macro? I mean, like, you don't... Oh, you want to use a declarative macro? Oh. Sorry, that's the noise I make now. Help. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to say here, Limenox. This is... I think since you're gonna have to have this anyway, I don't know how you're gonna generate these things. Oh yeah, I'm very tired. It's past my bedtime. But this is what I would do. If you don't want to have the user repo type, then you need to have some generics because of this, right? What in the ever-living pants is this? Why was this like a one-liner, right? But it's fine, I guess. I look at your art. There's a man shooting a banana. I mean, it's not half bad, Smethy, right? A man shooting a banana, that's pretty good. Hello, cat peasant. Have I ever been helpful in your streams, Marek? Okay, now I don't know what you want to do, Limenox. I definitely don't think derived macro is gonna help you here. I mean, holy, right? What are you even gonna do here? And here? The bind, maybe. I don't think I want the banana getting shot, Smathy, but you can keep trying. Why don't you use SQLX macros? Do SQLX have macros for this? But SQLX doesn't have a macro for get by email and things like that, right? You're gonna have to write these yourself. Well, I mean, isn't that the artist's right, Smathy? Isn't that you as an artist need to figure out what you're making, right? You just pub quest? Alright, cat peasant. Tomorrow. Alright, we're gonna watch cat peasant stream tomorrow. Yeah, that's what this is, Svadek. No, these aren't the macros. There are macros for this. But anyway, that's nor here nor there. That's not the issue though, right? Okay. Is there anything else I can help you with, Libenox, before my head explodes? I'm gonna redo my camera setup again tomorrow, but yeah. If you want to speed up your compilation, get rid of obstructions, right? Cat, let's do a shout out. Shout out to Cat Peasant, who's streaming tomorrow. Last I looked, Cat Peasant had 24 followers. We can get that up, can't we? What are we at now? 27. All right. All right. Yesterday he was just getting set up. We'll see where we'll just see where he's gonna take it tomorrow. Well, I mean, I don't know how much overhead macros add to compile time. It depends on how complex they are and how many you have and how often you use them, right? Well, Cat Peasant likes your art, Smathy, so there is that. All right, there is that. Okay, so without further ado, we're gonna go and sleep now. Yes, go and make zucchini bread. I'm gonna go and sleep. I'll be recording a video tomorrow morning. We'll see what happens. Okay, I'm waiting. Christopher, what's up? Oh, Crispy, I'm gonna get up in a couple of hours and flex. My art! It's fine art, Smithy, but I don't think I'm gonna make anything with them just yet, right? I'm waiting for Christopher now. Well, in not a couple of hours. In about 7 hours, maybe, I should be at the gym. I gotta eat some carbs before that. Can you watch the video I sent you earlier about Prime's views on Rust? I had timestamp. I'm curious about your opinions. Okay, Christopher. Oh shit, did I close that down? Okay, can you send it to me again, Christopher? I will watch it. It had timestamps. I'm so sorry. It might be, maybe it's up in the chat. Hang on, Christopher. Don't worry about it. Hang on, I got it. Okay. But now everyone has it. Okay. Who's he talking to? We'll look at this for a couple of seconds. There you go. Done. I agree with him. Are we done? Low level learning, is that who it is? Okay. Yeah, it looked familiar. I know. Where did this, like, how did this become a thing anyway, right? But that only makes sense if you actually know what move semantics are when you start, right? If you're coming from JavaScript, you'd be like, move semantics. Yeah, I remember that from my JavaScript bootcamp, right? He's really good at drawing with the mouse, right? That Y is beautiful, okay? Hello, Dontesia. Buenas noches. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Todo bien, no? No, you can get pretty complex code mixing lifetimes, async, and traits. Resource acquisition is initialization. Yeah, that's a C++ concept. I don't think most Rust devs comes from C++, but many do, right? Yeah, but they're different things, right? It's like saying driving a race car is more difficult than riding a push bike. Yeah, they're different things, right? I mean, Python is easier than Go, probably. So, you know. Oh, okay. I was like, what are you talking about? But now I know what he's talking about. He's talking about when you've been doing Rust for a while, okay? But SIG doesn't have async, so it's not really an option. It's like Rust async is difficult, but SIG's async is non-existent today. However, as far as I know, SIG is getting async and they're going to have callless functions, which is very cool. It is difficult, Christopher. When you are doing things with async Rust, but the question is, so this also depends on your runtime, okay? So there are certain trait bounds in, say, the Tokyo runtimes that requires that things are sent, only has static references if they have references and things like that, right? But this will make sense to you once you understand about lifetimes and trait bounds. However, Christopher, I can show you something called Binky, which is a message passing library using networking, is abstract over what the client and the server is. It can do a lot of it can basically do message passing asynchronously over the network inside the same application or to another application, and it is seamless. All you call is agent send address data, and it does it. This is not complicated. There is no, I don't think there's any lifetimes in here, right? So the way that you do something, do we have an example in here? No. But there are no lifetimes in this project. I don't know. This is a lifetime bound. So this is saying that whatever U is, you have to be able to serialize it. You have to be allowed to send it across thread boundaries, and any references that you may contain have to be static. That's what this is. But this does not have anything to do with the complexity of async Rust, right? I could show you like a trivial or contrived example of async Rust, but it's not really indicative of a real world application, right? It's not how we do write software. So it's hard to say, right? It is more difficult than async in Python or JavaScript, right? But I don't know. They're not really comparable, right? Sorry, my neck is crapping out. Different use cases, different areas of use, you know, they're... So I don't know. The thing is, things can be as difficult as you make them, okay? Christopher, there is this weird thing that we do as programmers, right? So we tell people like, oh, don't use clone, don't allocate on the heap because it's slow, as opposed to what? Store our strings on the stack. You can do that in C++. Shut up. That's not the point. Don't clone, don't allocate things on the heap. Yeah, I mean, whatever, right? We have all this like, don't do these things, right? But they don't make any sense in the world of async programming, right? Use mutexes, use reader-writer locks, use atomics, right? These are lock-free data. Well, the atomics are lock-free, the other ones aren't. log-free data structures, right? Yeah, and the reason we should know the reason why we're avoiding this thing, right? So you really don't have to make it as difficult as Prime is saying that it is, right? You don't need the lifetimes in there. You do need traits, but traits, if we go back to this thing, right? Traits and async is not a problem, right? And traits and lifetimes has nothing to do with async. So we're kind of mixing together. It's a little bit like saying C is difficult because you have pointers, functions, and no packet manager. But these are orthogonal to each other. They are not part of the same whole, right? These are different aspects of the programming language, right? Well, I'm not going to criticize anyone's Rust code when I haven't seen it. And I don't know why he was doing these things. And so, like I said, I'm not going to criticize it because I haven't seen it. So I can't comment to that about it. And even if it was terrible, I wouldn't say to anyone, your code is terrible. Liminox's code I've been polishing for the last... No, I'm kidding, buddy. I'm kidding. No, okay. This is very important as well, right? He's saying this is just not fun. And again, this is like almost the essence of the video that is never being released that I keep working on, right? We talk about programming languages as like, oh, Go is faster than Python. Oh, JavaScript is the best language ever because this, that, and the other. But the reality of it is this. Most of us program because it's fun, okay? Some people like driving race cars. Some people like biking in the woods. You're not going to drag your race car into the woods unless you're a complete moron, right? Or you really hate it. Or you have a large amount of money and you want to see what happens, right? They're like, people like different things. People like swimming or whatever, right? So it's not... If we treated programming language conversations like we treat real life, we would go out there, we would point a finger at everyone who's walking and be like, use a race car, you're slow as fuck, man, what are you doing, right? It makes no sense. Oh, you gotta use like the fastest programming language and all these things. No, you're gonna use the programming language that is most fun, okay? Because that's how we are, right? It's not Rust has all these safety merits. I program Rust because it's fun. Right? I don't mind these things. I think this is part of the fun for me. But I also understand if you are new to Rust and you're looking at something that looks like maybe, what should we look at? Maybe the query. And you're looking at something that looks like this. You're going to be, why is everything pink? All right? What is happening here? All right. And I get that. I get that if you're looking at that and you're not familiar or comfortable with lifetimes and all that stuff, you're going to be like, why? Why are you like this? Well, anyway, it's a Stockholm Syndrome situation, right? People not writing assembly these days. I know, Crispy, right? Wait, okay, hang on, I have to back up because it just sounded like he said something mad there. Okay. First of all, Rust has nullable pointers, okay? You go to Rust and you type in null, all right? There are nullable pointers in here, okay? Where are you, my null pointer? Okay, that we're never gonna use. Oh, it's not there. Null. Let's see. You got null. There you are. Right. Rust has nullable pointers. Okay. Also, yeah, yeah. That's my second point. Right. It's really. I think so. It's easy to meme on this, right? And it's easy to be like, you know, the $1 billion mistake, right? He likes it because you can pointers that can't be null. No, he said it has nullable pointers. All right. No. Okay. Right. And I know that people still write C and C++ and they deal with null and they're happy with it, right? I have programmed languages. I have programmed C#, I programmed Python, I programmed some JavaScript against my will. All these things have various representation of absence of value or whatever, except JavaScript, which has like 4 of them or whatever, right? And we have none in Rust to represent the absence of value, but when it comes to what he's saying, he's absolutely right. It's not fun. And in my world, having to deal with the cluster that is null is not fun to me. But to each their own, okay? What is more secure in Rust than other? The question doesn't make sense, Matthew. Like, what is more secure in Rust than other what? For users dealing with code with unexpected nulls isn't fun? No. Although, admittedly, I have seen plenty of unwrap being used in Rust, so it's obviously down to whether you actually deal with it or not, right? Yeah, so there's a thing there's a thing where the application will crash when you do something, and then there's a thing when you do something that is causing like security issues, like dereferencing free memory and you pointing to other memory and all that. But I think these arguments are kind of tired at this point. You're going to use Rust because you like Rust. And the fact that Rust is safety and morally superior to all other programming languages is not really relevant anymore, right? You should feel dirty when you unwrap, don't you? You should not unwrap. Only in test. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about, right? So you're returning a stack pointer and the stack frame is gone, right? I actually think that SIG is only an easier language if you come from the world of C, C++, right? If you're not familiar with managing memory, if you don't know about malloc and free and these things, then I don't think the SIG is going to be easier than Rust. It's going to be easier to get something that compiles, but when did we set the bar to it compiles, we're good, right? When did that become the bar? Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So we kind of get to the point. Damn it, I wasn't gonna react to these things, but when we're getting to the point where the Rust compiler, nothing is compiling, blah blah blah, right? But if we let this compile, you would be releasing the equivalent of a thermonuclear warhead into the world, right? We can't let this compile because you're doing something stupid. But that bar doesn't seem to exist in certain other language. I'm not saying a certain language meaning SIG. No, I'm genuinely meaning certain other languages, right? Like I wrote some C++ as a joke on stream, and I had lots of undefined behavior in my code. I didn't know what was undefined behavior of the code. And on top of that, the code ran and looked like it was working, right? That's just terrifying to me, okay? Yeah, skill issue, all right, but I don't know if the dude or dudette who writes the software for things I use also have skill issues, okay? Right? That was all my code, okay? The bar doesn't exist. No, but it seemed to be like, if it compiles, we're fine. But why did that become a thing, right? So we're like, Rust is hard No, it isn't. It's a lot easier to write correct code in Rust than it is in C. Because C would be like, all right, well, you told me to do this. The rest is your problem, right? Whereas Rust like, nah, I'm not going to let you do that. I can't let you do that, Dave, because you're being an idiot, Dave. Okay? Oh my God. So I have to say something about this article. Let's just pop this in here. It can't be found because I'm an idiot. Can we? There you go. Right. Leaving Rust game dev after 3 years. Okay. So this was something that Caleb pointed out. I think it was like, you put up with it for 3 years before you did this. You spent 3 years in some kind of hellish nightmare. Okay. What? All right. I mean, all right. Anyway. You want a challenge in Rust you can learn. So I would say, Smithy, before you look for a particular challenge, read through the Rust book. I would say that's challenge enough, right? These days, a lot of people won't get through half of the Rust book. If you can make it through half of the Rust book, doing all exercises without skipping anything under the gumption like, oh yeah, I know this, right? If you can do that, then that's a good challenge. And you will have learned really, really well, right? I'm also a little bit tired, and I'm saying this, I love Rust. I love programming Rust. I'd marry Rust if my wife let me, but I'm getting a little bit tired of like all the conversations of memory safety and the vulnerabilities, right? And I realized that I was doing it myself 5 seconds ago, right? But I kind of feel like we get it. Who doesn't know about Rust today? Move on, right? So how much do you want me to watch, by the way, Christopher? Because I do this, I do this because you guys asked, and I'm happy to do it. But I don't want to consume like all Prime's content, right? I don't want to do a reaction to a reaction, right? That's just no. You are done with the part I want to answer to? Gotcha. Then I'll watch this off stream instead. I'm gonna try to remember to watch this. I know it now. It's essential to keep mentioning safety and predictability because it plants the seed for future generation of languages and programmers, in my opinion. Yeah. Oh no, we just watch 2 hours of it. Yeah. That's fair enough, Christopher. So I think it's very important, okay? Again, stupid ass video that's never coming out, but I think it's very important that we do this, okay? That we say this. There are lots of really good programmers out there. You might know some of them, okay? And they like different things. So you know this amazing dude who can wrangle pointers in C like it's going out of style, right? Like this guy literally invented null pointers and everyone loves him for it, right? You know that person, okay? And then you know someone who's really analytical and they're really good at the big picture stuff maybe. They program a whole different language. So now you have like 2 really clever people that like vastly different languages, right? And you get them into a room and they hate each other's language. Like your language choice makes you a racist. Your language choice makes you a bigot. None of us programs Rust. We're all morally corrupt, right? Really smart people or seemingly smart people saying that a language is good and another language is bad does not make it so, okay? And this is, there might be some value to what they are saying, okay? So you have person X who says, Rust is a terrible language. I struggle. I do a lot of C interrupt. I try to do this stuff. There's so much unsafe everywhere. The code is not even legible at this point. I have written 5,000 operating systems. I invented space. There's nothing I can't do. Rust doesn't work for me. It's a terrible language. What you're listening to is not a person saying, Rust is bad. You should not program Rust. They are saying, Rust is not for me. Okay? I do things in a particular way. I've been doing them like this for 90 years, okay? This new language come along, it doesn't fit with my mental model. You are not that person. You do not have 90 years programming experience, right? You did not shake hands with Babbage, right? That's not you. You might be really good, don't get me wrong, but these problems that makes them not like a programming language are not your problem. Do not adapt other people's problem, right? If your favorite person in the whole world, who for some reason isn't me, but I don't understand why, really, really don't like something you like, that has nothing to do with you, okay? I hate cauliflower. I think Brussels sprouts are like meatballs from hell, okay? I think they're gross. Cauliflower rice was probably invented by Hitler, okay? It is so bad. I hate it. You might like it, and we can still be friends. I like R.W. Grimm. Dude is really nice. He absolutely hates Rust. He can't stand it, and he can't stand the Rust community. It's a community I'm part of, but I still like the guy, and I think he likes me too, right? He did not like me calling him Grimble Baggins, though, but we'll skip that one. So that's the thing, right? So when someone you watch, like Prime, says, I don't like Rust, it's complicated, async, lifetime, traits, I'm out. That's someone's experience and opinions. And their opinions aren't gonna override yours. They shouldn't override yours, right? Because you're just consuming content. There's a wall between you and the content you consume, right? And that wall should be there to protect you from watching a lot of loud-ass people on Twitch and YouTube telling you really strong opinions. If you unwrap in Rust, you are shit. You are the worst person in the world, right? I would run you over with a bulldozer if I see if you unwrap, okay? No, right? Obviously not. And you shouldn't be like, oh my god, I used to like unwrap. Now I don't know what to do. It's done unwrap, but still, right? I'm happy. I love unwrapping. You're a rap artist. I do Rust, C#, and even C. The difference for me is just the use case. Yeah, the real argument behind that is I don't like compiled languages with no runtime. Doesn't manage memory for me, and it's fine. Yeah. You should not dislike Prime. The takeaway is this. Prime might dislike something you like. That should not overwrite your opinions, okay? Watch his stream, but watch my stream more. And enjoy it for the content that he creates. It's not most likely in his interest that you start disliking Rust, right? You should see this as an assurance of yourself, right? You can watch other people without adopting their opinions, right? I know lots of you in the chat who are better at me at making upside down triangles, right? And you are better than me at piloting tractors, right? There's lots of you out there, okay? And you have things you like that you do, and they don't gel with the things I like and I do. But that doesn't stop you, shouldn't stop you from enjoying the content, nor should it override your opinions, right? I think if we're talking about respect, I admire what he has achieved. I do not agree with him on a lot of things, but that doesn't mean anything, right? That's just me not agreeing with him on things, right? I look at his videos and I'll be like, no, I don't agree with that. Actually, most of the time, I don't think so. I'll be like, haha, what a take, right? Maybe, probably not, right? It shouldn't be more than that. It shouldn't be more than that. Exactly, right? It is, I mean, I disagree with you guys on a daily basis. I'd be like, no, your opinions are wrong. Get out of my house. All of these things, right? We all have opinions and onions. I have onions. I'm going to make French onion soup one day. That has nothing to do with anything, but I felt like I should share. most languages are dumb. I don't think it makes sense to think of languages as smart or dumb, right? I think it makes sense to think about languages in one category and one category only. Languages that I enjoy using, okay? Languages that I enjoy using. French onion soup rocks, but takes so much effort. Oh my god, effort? Okay, I'm not doing it. I need to plant my onions. No soup then. My intention was on Star Wars only to hear your story. Oh yeah, no, it's all. Oh, there's no war, Christopher. That's exactly what I'm saying. There is no ill towards anyone, right? I'm saying to you, if you're interested in Rust and you want to learn Rust, then get your feet wet. Go dive headfirst in, right? If Prime says Rust is bad, but you like his content, then go, I like Prime's content. I disagree with his opinions on Rust, but I still like his content, right? I mean, it's a way for us to grow as people. Yeah, I think it's a really fun language. Yeah, I think it's difficult because we're constantly surrounded. I mean, I consume most of the YouTube content I consume has nothing to do with programming. Except thanks for Privan, now I get 6,000 videos a day in the life of a programmer. Thank you, Privan. But you know, I want to live out of programming or entrepreneur. I want to do what I love now. Not what makes me earn money. Yeah, I don't think being a programmer is the best career choice, right? There are much better career choices, but I can't make this joke, so there would nothing left for the video. Oh man, like am so curious, Liminox. Can you like ping me a PM? I'm not gonna challenge you. I'm just like, I just wonder what he's done to warrant this, and you don't have to justify or say anything if you don't want to. I'm just curious, right? Because sometimes I watch streamers and then someone tell me like, oh, you know that streamer, they ate a baby, and I'd be like, no, they didn't, and then like video evidence. I was like, it's a lot of barbecue. Anyway, one thing I say most people as well is learn languages, at least play with them. Oh yeah. Piet is the best language anyway. There you go, man. Piet. I have never programmed Piet in my entire life. I've seen Hello World in Piet and never programmed it. I don't think I ever will. So yeah. No, it's all good. It's all good. I want you to do what makes you happy as long as it's not at the expense of other people. Oh god, yes, it made me feel like a real tit. I thought, so I've been programming for many years, and in my hubris, I can pick up any programming language and learn it very quickly. And Smathy, I am quite a bit older than you, so I have a little bit more validity to believing in my own hubris, okay? You're too young, okay? Nah, Smathy, you'll be all right. You keep your hubris, man. You must remember this and look back at it when you're older, though, right? It is nothing but, don't change. Be you. So, I thought that I could just pick up any programming language and figure it out. I mean, the thing is, programming languages are, in theory, quite simple, right? You got, in most programming languages, you have functions, you have values, you have some way of representing a record through a class or a struct, and you have some way or other to compose things together and generally have some kind of module system and a package manager. By this definition, it should take us a couple of days to learn a programming language, right? But Rust doesn't work that way. And it took me down a few pegs, right? I picked up lots of really dumbass programming languages throughout time. I programmed Delphi, for God's sake, right? And I'd be like, oh yeah, you know, I can do anything. I can do Rust. And I tried, and like, stupid shit language. I quit twice before. I was like, okay, let's do this, okay? It was humbling. It was like, you know what? It's okay to be wrong, all right? It's okay. No, that's a lie. No one has ever programmed D. Oh, who was it that was one of the founders or Bartosz? There you go, right? Kylix. I do not remember Kylix. Hello, Londa. How you doing, buddy? I remember some Delphi. Scrub your brain. Get that fairy liquid out, man. It's time to clean. When I went to try OCaml, I gave up on OCaml, but not really from, well, I mean, I gave up. I wasn't really invested in it. It was just a thing that I thought we could, wrangle quickly. I swapped to Gleam, and Gleam just fell in place because it's basically Rust, right? So, yeah, something like that, right? Rapid application development. Oh, in that case, yes, I have used Kylix in that case. I thought it was called something else, like, no. Oh, well. Yeah, I don't know why D exists. I don't know if D is going anywhere either. Some French study line. Is the source of Rust, though, Crispy? Cool. What are you using Gleam for? Nothing, Londo. I use it for a part of a video. Or I looked at it for a part of a video, but I decided not to use Gleam. But it was fun to poke at it, right? Why does it still exist? Yeah. Oh god, I have packages in npm. I still get emails about changing my 2FA or whatever. Right? I have nothing to do with it, and they just bite rot now. All right. Anyway, I'm insanely tired. I like chatting with you guys. I wish we would have had this conversation earlier, but I'm falling apart. Right. I actually think Python is a really fun language. When I went to Python from C# and I mean, like, everyone complains about Python, its performance. And yeah, it sucks, but you're not writing for Python for the performance, right? It comes back to the analogy, why are you walking to the store where you could be driving the fastest vehicle available to you, right? Because sometimes you just need to get shit done and you don't want to get the car out of the garage, right? For me, it was some educational purpose. Like, how bizarre that must be then, right? I don't think so, Christopher. I don't. To me, Mojo, I don't think it has much of a future unless they pivot away from the AI bullshit. I think Mojo positioned itself in the wrong place. If Rust would have positioned itself as Rust, the blockchain language, would you have been interested? No, right? Yeah, Python is so succinct to write code in it. Right? The standard library has everything, right? Because humans don't work like that, Smathy, right? This is what I'm saying. You can have the best programmer in the world, and, well, you can have two equally good programmers. Somehow, subjectively, they objectively are the best, not subject. They're objectively the best programmers in the world, like in different languages. How does that even make sense? How does that make sense? Because we're people, we don't choose programming languages based on the merits of the language. Maybe that's what gets you interest. Maybe that dude that was standing on the corner be like, there were ends tomorrow unless you learn Rust. Maybe he got you into it. But if you stay, that's you forming an emotional connection with the language, right? The syntax, the libraries, the community, the ecosystem, how you progress using the language, where you are in life, right? If I would have picked up Rust a couple of days ago when Lily, my bunny, died, I probably wouldn't have, right? I probably wouldn't have been that into it. There are so many different feelings attached to programming languages, right? Right, anyway, listen, I can't do this anymore. I'm falling asleep where I'm sitting, and that's going to be a very different stream where I hit my head on the microphone and pass out. So we're going to have to leave. We're going to raid someone. We have like 10 views, but we're going to raid anyway. Who should we raid? Live channels we think you like. Do you guys want to watch Theo, who says, oops, I started more Apple drama? Or do you guys want to watch Pokemon? No, hang on. We're going to do this. We could raid some SIG, or we could raid some open source. Should we find someone to raid? We got some Vim. Do you guys have any suggestion? Every day, man. One day he'll say hi back, right? He's too good to talk to me now that he's so big. I'm kidding, of course. Keyboard, DevOps, Unity, Terror, and Espanol. Okay, I don't know how that works, but okay. Freelance, Francois, Canada, Twitch Hero. Man, there's like a lot of no backseating or spoilers. We won't go there then. PHP. Mostly Maxi. Who's mostly Maxi? Mostly Maxi is doing Rust. Oh, there we go. All right. Okay, let's have a bit of a quick peek here. Ooh, and they even have like nice TUI stuff going on. All right, let's just chuck you guys over here. All right, I'm like trying not to, I can't do this in this browser. It's like too much personal info on there. It'd be like, oh yeah, your address is blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's have a look what they're doing. They are doing Twitch Interactive Core. Okay, they're doing some Twitch stuff. Why don't I hear anything? Oh, there we go. All right, we'll raid them. We'll raid some Rust. $12 hours a day. Oh, well, maybe next time. All right. Okay. Anyway, enjoy mostly Maxi and be good. I will be back tomorrow and I shall work on the video tomorrow. So late stream. Okay. You guys are great. Enjoy. Bye for now.